Hello, Craiglith.
Craigalicious.
Craigbert. All right. So the mission saw all of you heading to a small town in Oregon, where it seems there had been a coven of witches that. And now in the modern day, may be hiding a base for the Second Dawn. And it seems that that information was correct when you came to town and started exploring, especially thanks to a very helpful waitress at the bar. You learned that Nine Rosewood is in town, and that the geology of the area means that there is a possibly natural series of caves underneath much of the town, referred to as the Witches' Caves. Um, that are the center of much local legend, but are for the most part, abandoned and collapsed. Well, you decided to confirm that for yourself, and sneaking into the basement of the grocers, you came across a hatch that had seemingly been warded by someone that allowed you entrance into these caves, and they look not as abandoned as they should be. As you were sneaking around in the dark under the effects of Pass Without Trace, you started to hear the Second Dawn agents talking about you having been spotted and trying to surround you uh, in the bar that you are now no longer at. So, with all of you down in the caves, slowly creeping around. Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Yes? Oh,
Yes.
why is it not coming out for me? Weird. There we go. Okay. As as you creep through these witches' caves, hearing the steps and stomps of other people, illuminated only by the dancing lights cantrip the Cal is casting, I would like you all to give me new stealth checks for exploring the caves, and remember that you have a +10 for the Pass Without Trace.
Is Kekuna rolling as well?
29.
Kekino does not roll stealth checks, but if you could, because he's just kind of by himself, he just basically goes off your stealth check. But if you can
Okay.
think of a reason that he would help with your stealth check, good enough reason, I could give one of you advantage.
Oh, I can't think of a reason, and it's 27 anyway, so I think we're
Yeah,
fine.
there you go.
That was a nat 20 for a total of 34.
Okay, 34, 27, and what did May have?
29.
Okay, you are shadows.
Yeah.
As you creep more slowly into the caves, um, you eventually reach a four-way intersection. As you have gotten away from the um, as you've gotten away from the entrance you used, the caves very quickly went from abandoned and rubble strewn to cleared and walkable and accessible. Um, and you've started to see little bits of trash or signs of people having been this way. But you find yourself at a four-way intersection, and with such a high stealth check, you can hear off to the right-hand path the sounds of many steps of other people walking and some small chatter in the background.
Is it towards or away from us?
With that high stealth check, it seems to be heading away from you, and that this seems to be the group that was talking about ambushing you.
Uh, I'm voicing this as myself, but also I think Fish is sharing the same general thought. Should we not go in the direction that they're going away from to see what they were most recently up to?
Yeah,
That's
I
a good
think so.
idea. Otherwise, I was going to roll investigation to see if there's if like there's any indication of what leads there, like if there's any symbols marking walls or anything like that, or
Yeah,
like which path is most commonly traversed.
and use Kekano for smells.
Okay. Well,
Alright.
I would say that could either be a survival check to try to like look for tracks or
Mhm.
something of that nature, or a investigation check to try to see like markings or signage of some kind, some way that they themselves navigate down here.
Yep. All right, I'm going to do investigation because my bonus is way better.
And I will have Kekano
23.
roll for smells.
Oh, very nice.
23. Kekano goes, "Achoo, it's very musty down here. I can't smell that much."
Bless you.
Did you roll a 1?
He rolled a 2 and a 3.
Oh, baby.
And as as you look around you, you see some scratches on the wall directly in front of you. That seems to be somewhat recent. Maybe some way of marking, or at least somebody walking by, swinging a stick or a weapon or something, maybe out of boredom. You don't know if it's sort of official pathfinding mark, but you can see that maybe that way is more towards civilization. But with that very high roll, you can also see that the left and right are pretty frequently used. It's the way in front of you seems to be more towards the center of things, and potentially where these people came from, but the left and right are also used pretty well as well.
Fish puts on Eldritch Sight to investigate the scratches in case they're of a magical nature, and also just general trails, perhaps.
Okay. With your Eldritch Sight, without having to roll, the scratches are not of a magical nature. However, once you do turn on your Eldritch Sight, you can see some lingering ambient magic effects that seem to be some kind of like maybe wards or maybe magic channeling of some kind that just seems to be lingering in the caves. It's kind of anchored in the wall and ceiling, and with your Eldritch Sight on, creates a very faint magical glow that doesn't really allow you to kind of see in the dark, but at least can kind of see where you're going. It doesn't seem like anything like active or powered, just sort of left over from whatever these caves were used for before.
Right. No traps.
No traps that you can see. Where do you go?
May is going to look expectantly at Fish.
They're gonna stick with their idea of we should go down and see the area that the people just were, see what they were doing there. And if there's anyone left, and if there's anyone who stayed behind, obviously we double back. They won't see us because we're so super stealthy.
Yeah. You all rolled high enough on stealth to know that you are functionally invisible.
Yeah.
There's that thing about being like, an 18 or 19 is being like, yeah, I feel like I'm being sneaky, but who knows? And a 29 is like, I'm a ghost, no one can see me. Yes, you continue forward slowly creeping up, the tunnel takes a pretty sharp turn all of a sudden, and you find yourself in a strange little antechamber of some kind. There are tunnels stretching off to the right and left. But instead of being an open room, is a room with some central pillars, as well as some stalagmites and stalactites around. And as you look, a lot of garbage, a lot of disturbances, and a bracket in the wall with a little hook that has a sort of electric battery powered lantern that is currently off, um, hanging from there. So clearly, much more signs of civilization. But as you step forward into this area, you start to hear more sounds of people coming to you from the left.
Moving towards us.
Moving towards this room that you're in. You know that you are very stealthy, and you know that there's a lot of places to hide in here, but they do seem like they're heading towards you. And then suddenly a door opening and the voice is getting louder. Yeah, go around. Go around. And we'll get them. As they're coming closer to you.
Okay. And so there's the left, and was there any sound coming from the left?
There are exits to the left and the right. The sounds are coming from the left. But this is this is a waiting area. They're going somewhere. They're most likely seeking another entrance back up to the top. Maybe they're going to be going towards the tunnel you were just in. Maybe they're going to go towards the other one. Which kind of direction do you hide, or do you confront them?
Well, we've got we're not we're just three people and a seal.
How well lit is the room?
It is very dark in here without Cal's light. Cal has her dancing lights, which is, if someone comes into this room and you're trying to hide, they're going to see the lights. So.
Okay, what if they're not going to it's just an antechamber? What if they just are going to be passing through? So if we just hide in a corner each, they'll just go through and then we can proceed. I'm sorry, that's the best that Fish wouldn't have a good idea. They're an idiot.
No, it's fine. I mean, I think, we have the message we're messaging any sort of communication. I think I will say Cal would be pretty confident in Pass Without Trace, and also Cal is used to just sneaking around places and hiding. So I think she would be think it would be more of a risk to try to double back and run out. So I think as soon as I think she would probably want to stay put and extinguish her dancing lights.
Okay.
Yes.
You're
how about we each take a corner?
Okay. You each take a corner and you hide. Cal extinguishes her lights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, Patrick also has dark vision, so I would really love a description of people who come in if they come in.
Got it. Yeah. Also, a question for May. Do you have cat recording yet?
Yeah, retroactively, yes.
Okay.
Because the mission started.
All right. As you hide and tuck yourself into corners, the sound gets louder and louder just as you step out of sight and extinguish the lights is when new lights flicker from that tunnel, and you see a group of people come through with a flashlight, hustling through. Hal and Fish see just a glimpse of figures. You can see at least the one with the flashlight is holding a handgun of some kind as they are sort of speed walking through this area and then disappearing down the other tunnel, talking about surrounding the bar and cutting you off. May sees a little bit more detail. It kind of not really haphazard, but it's not a Second Dawn isn't a place with a uniform, so a lot of people wearing jeans, and you see that most of them are armed in some way. Most of them have a gun of some description, and none of them are kind of looking around. They seem to be, very, very blinded, only kind of focusing on the flashlight, except there is one who is hanging back at the sort of the back of the group going through. And he's in the dark, which means that Cal and Fish would not be able to see him as the flashlight disappears. But he steps through and he stops. And he looks around. And May, you see kind of a younger looking man, sort of a short ponytail pulled back, dark hair of some kind, looking around, narrowing his eyes, and then continuing to walk and follow the others. Maybe a mage, or maybe just someone a little more aware of his surroundings. But it seems like none of them saw you, and they disappear down that pathway. What do you do?
Okay, I guess we're going to continue on. So Fish's thought is there has to be some sort of control room with some centralized power, and we're going to take that.
We're gonna take it?
We're going to take it.
Oh no! This plan has not been, been explained to the
It's not a
lady.
good plan. It's not a good plan.
May is going to. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Link.
Okay, we've all seen Cabin in the Woods, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I'm familiar with it.
Okay. Okay.
We've all seen Cabin in the Woods. No.
Wonderful. In the third act, there's a part where our two heroes are in like something of a control room, and they have the big board. And I know
Oh,
that
they
this doesn't
release all the
exist.
monsters.
They release all
Yeah.
the monsters, and so
Gotcha.
it's basically just like, we're gonna be safe in here while you guys are all fucked, having to deal with your own shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's Fish's
Fish
plan. That's in
explains
Cabin
it
in the
in that
Woods.
terms, and he goes, "You guys have all seen Cabin in the Woods, right?" And May and Cal go, "No," and Kikino goes, "No."
Well, yeah. I don't think I've ever like stated this, but like Fish is a film aficionado, and I don't know, just gets occasional visions of future movies.
No,
Which is my explanation as well for knowing about Halloween Party by Agatha Christie, which hasn't come out yet. They're just like, yeah, no, I know. There's a film that came out where they're traveling the space. It's Star Wars, and what? Anyway.
Ellie, this joke was way before your time, but I think about it all the time. I just made a joke where I said Fish's ancestors beam all of Poker Face directly into their head.
Yeah, it's not useful. It's only for flavor. It's not helping.
Well, with that in mind, trying to find some sort of central control room, it does seem like based on their conversation, trying to surround you, trying to trap you, the people who just left are heading towards a way out, a way up top, which means wherever they came from would be more central to wherever the group is located.
Yes, and if they're and did the message say that they were all mobilizing?
It sounded like there was no sort of like clear order of operations. There was nobody who was like giving instructions in the group that went past, but you get the sense that kind of like a kicked hornet's nest, everything is active and heading out right now. You know,
shit.
Maybe not the
Sorry.
entire organization is going to surround you, but they have been informed that you are here and they are getting ready in various ways. And that readiness seems to mostly be trying to capture you topside.
Okay, Ellie, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I was just going to say, May is going to let whoever the main contact is for the mission know that this is happening. And they're like, if they're in the area, they need to be careful because people the people are like on the hunt for outside mages.
So you speak out loud then.
You have to.
Very quietly, like into the.
With the high stealth check,
we have our fucking person of interest.
Like bone mics, no.
Yeah.
But with that high of a stealth check, you are able to kind of sub-vocalize and keep very quiet as you send out a message to. Do you send it to the main command in the sanctuary, or do you send it to Mercy and the Scythes, your backup? One is letting someone know how the mission is going. The other is like be ready for imminent action.
Yeah, definitely Mercy and the Scythes, and May also specifically tells them to watch out for a guy matching ponytail description.
Gotcha.
Because he might be a mage.
Excellent. Yes, you're. We hear you, and do you want us to deploy into town or hang back?
Hang back for now.
All right, hanging back. We'll be ready.
I was also going to ask you, because May's got layers of history, if there's anything that's like apparent to her about these tunnels beyond that they're tunnels.
Give me a history check.
Yep. That is. What is history? That is a 22.
Okay. 22, you are looking at these, you've spent a decent amount of time kind of underground in digs and stuff. You're not like a cave delver or anything, but there are always little pockets of caves and underground structures you've needed to explore. This, you're looking at this and you're seeing like this room seems like a natural cave structure, but a couple of like the paths we've already went through, like maybe they were widened at some point with tools. Like it seems like there's a combination of kind of a natural cave structure that was expanded by people at some point. And a lot of the with a 22, a lot of the things you're seeing in here, little like niches that are carved in the walls, and like one of the stalactites is carved into like a decorative figure and things like that, puts you in mind of first of all, it tells you this area was important to somebody, not necessarily that these caves were like habited, but like people came here regularly at some point, at perhaps religious significance or cultural significance or something like that. You also see a lot of similarities between this and non-sorcerous magical societies. So with a 22, you don't necessarily have enough experience with this specific subject matter to be able to say for sure, but it does seem like, either there actually was a witch coven here and this is where their coven was located, or this area was important to them, or this was some other magical group that like lived here previously. These factors that you're seeing are very like kind of like starting to wear, just like not very well maintained. So whoever like kind of made these caves and lived in them is not currently residing here, most likely, or at least the culture is not regularly residing here.
Okay, cool.
Fish goes over to where the battery-powered lantern is hanging, and takes the batteries out, but puts the lantern back.
Nice.
Very smart. All right. How do you go forward? You can go back the way you came. You can go to the left where the people came from. You can go to the right where they were going.
We can also decide, and if we don't want to put dancing lights back on, May can just lead us, and we can walk hand in hand. Cal's nightmare, but a smart plan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What does
Fish will
I
suggest
was just
that.
gonna say.
May, how about we lead you? How about you lead us onwards?
Sure. Except May is not gonna. Oh, actually, maybe hands would be better. I was gonna say like we can literally tie ourselves together, but that could go terribly wrong if we need to move quickly. So,
I did a scavenger hunt recently where we tied ourselves together.
Yeah, not revive. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, May
We've all played human tug of war. Don't do that shit.
All right. May takes the lead, and as you're creeping forward, the cave tunnel you're in very quickly dog legs just a really sharp corner, and just around the corner you sort of come up short because you see the door that you heard before. This is clearly like kind of a ramshackle assembly. Clearly somebody came down here with some lumber and kind of fitted a wall and a door here, and the door is ever so slightly cracked, and you can see light coming through from the other side.
Can May peek through? Is it a big enough crack to have a little look-see?
Yeah, give me a.
No, I was just.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
No. Whatever. What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna keep interrupting you. Actually.
Okay.
Anyway, so I.
Hey, what?
But I was gonna.
I thought you were just gonna. May, can you give me a perception check with disadvantage?
Disadvantage. Okay.
Meanwhile, Cal and Fish are like, "Stop touching me. We need to hold hands. Why are your hands so clammy?"
That's a 15.
No,
with disadvantage.
They each have a hand on Kekino and are not touching one another.
Kekino is swinging off the ground, just like between
on the cross,
holding flippers. He's enjoying it, honestly. He's loving this.
Have you guys seen the fucking video of the guy at the gym and he's like holding on to the stretch bands and his sleeves back and forwards to like the weightlifting cage?
Yes, it's supposed to be one of those like CrossFit is dangerous because people don't know what they're doing kind of videos. As you go up and place your eye to the crack, the first thing you see is you're a little bit blinded by the light after all this darkness. You can feel your eyes rapidly shrinking as color vision comes back into them and the dark vision fades.
Okay, that's what I was going to interrupt you about.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe someone who doesn't have dark vision should look. Anyway.
Yeah, I figured disadvantage covered both that and the fact that it's a little crack that you're looking through. As you look through, first thing you notice is electric lighting, and this is not sort of the temporary lighting that you've used on digs, like running off a generator. This is like anchored into the ceiling kind of electrics that with a 15 aren't like variable the way power drawn from a generator is. It seems like this may actually be tied into the electric grid up top. But it's a very bright and well lit room. You can see that the walls and door are not just to kind of isolate this area, but also to keep the light from leaking out into the sort of more publicly accessible areas of the tunnel. And as you look in through, you see the first signs of more serious habitation. There is boxes and dry goods. There is a table off to the side where a firearm has been partially disassembled, sleeping bag. some trash in an alcove that might be like a toilet or something. But it's like all of a sudden, this is not like, oh, people may come down here occasionally. This is like, okay, somebody lives here. You have found part of the base. Now the door is unlocked, but as soon as you go out, you will be in the light.
Yeah, because I've got tremor sense as well. Can I feel anyone moving around within that range?
Your tremor sense is 10 feet, I believe, which is not very far. Between your what you can see through the crack and your tremor sense, you don't see or sense anyone in this immediate area. Clearly, this is where that party just came through, and maybe more will come through this way if there's still more to come. But at least for right now, there's nobody.
Okay. One last question. With what May can see through the crack, with the like clearly long-term electric lighting, is it just like a light in the ceiling that she can see, or she can just tell that it is proper electric light?
You can actually see it by looking up. It is a string of like naked bulbs in the same way you would do it at like a construction site, but instead of just like randomly draped on anything, it is actually like screwed and anchored into the ceiling as like a permanent fixture.
Is it within 30 feet?
At least one of the bulbs is within 30 feet of you.
Yeah, May's gonna mold earth the light out of the ceiling so that it cracks.
Okay. Give me
So I'm just moving the earth. Like,
yeah, no, you're just moving the earth. That's not even a particularly like precise usage of mold earth. Yeah, you just do that. The bulb pops and goes out. There are now some deeper shadows kind of around the door where you're coming through, but the rest of the room is still very well lit by all the other bulbs. But the doorway you're about to walk through is not nearly as obviously illuminated as it was before, and there are some deeper shadows around there to hide than there were.
May can message
Fish claps her on the shoulder and Fish claps her on the shoulder and says, probably not out loud, but in message, like, good job, Gladly.
You're very welcome, Fish. I'm going to open the door. Still a message. And then, like, the slightest crack, just enough for me to, like, get a better sense of what's going on in the room.
Okay. As you start to open the door, as you heard when the others come through, the door is kind of creaky. And it just starts to creak a little bit. You can try to stop, or you can keep going.
Give me a second. I've seen if there's anything I can possibly do to stop this fucking door creaking.
We'll get out our
Probably not.
WD-40.
Surely. She's got WD-40 on her at all times. May does have her tools on. Did she just like fix this door?
If you want to do a tool check to try to make it silent, I will let you make the check. It will take a little bit of time that you will be sitting here.
Okay. Yeah, we
may
don't really
mean that more people could come.
Yeah, okay, no, fine.
Kind of the risk.
May's gonna try and do that thing where, like, I used to have a door like in my house that creaked real bad, and I would kind of like lift it up a bit as I was moving it to try and minimize the creaking. Mm-hmm. May's gonna try and do that.
Okay. Give me a let's say
I was looking at my spells and I saw grease and I was like, that's a WD-40 spell.
Yeah, it is.
Should
I waste a spell point on WD-40 in the door?
No, not a point.
No, not a point.
May give me a
Wait,
yeah, give me
Kekino is slippery.
Kekino is
on the door.
Kekino is slippery. Do you want to try that?
Sham wow.
Get that boy on the door.
It won't work. It won't.
If you're just trying to like lift up the door and keep it from creaking as you get through, give me a tool check with disadvantage of just trying to like figure out the mechanics of the door, exactly where it's creaking from and where those forces are applied, and if you can kind of counteract that as it's opening.
Don't I have proficiency in tools?
Yes, yeah,
You
and I
do.
think double proficiency, so I think you have +6 in tools.
Yeah, yes, I do. There it is. 11, 12. All right, so 18.
Okay.
I will also say if it's
No,
one
that's
of the cases,
disadvantage. I'm sorry.
Oh, actually, you're right. Yeah,
I must
17.
correct you.
No, you're right. 17. Hopefully, that's not the one that makes the difference.
I will also say real quick before Patrick gets into it, Patrick understands doors in a way I would never hope to, but if it was like we need a hold, you know what I mean? Like there's like a screw at a place or something. Cal can mage hand and hold a piece of the door to make it quiet.
Okay. Between all of these factors, Cal chipping in with the mage hand, May trying to angle the door such that the forces do not cause the hinges to squeak. It does still make noise as you open it, but it is much quieter than you heard it before and what it started to be. And you manage to hustle through into the room beyond with sort of not no noise, but a rather minimum amount of noise. And as you duck to the side and hide behind boxes and things, it doesn't sound like anyone was reacting to that noise. Doesn't sound like anyone was close enough.
Can I do the equivalent of a life sense?
No. Life sense is not one of your abilities. You can do a death sense if you want.
I'll do a death sense. Maybe somebody's wearing some leather or some bone.
Yeah,
give
it
yeah, all wear leather. Actually, I'll do a leather sense. I'll do a leather daddy check.
If you are looking for like materials belonging to dead things rather than actual dead things, you'll need to give me an Arcana check. But you can do that within 60 feet.
Her plus 12 or whatever it is will surely not get us over the line.
Leather daddy check.
If possible, I'd like for Fish to assist with, further Eldritch Sight.
Yeah. Give me a perception check for Eldritch Sight.
Yes. 16.
26 for leather daddy check.
Okay. Well, with your leather daddy check, with you stretch your senses and you feel some very kind of like normal and average dead things. There's like a bat corpse that's been pushed into a corner. There is some foodstuffs that you recognize, some actual leather, but not being worn, kind of boxed up and put away. And you don't sense any sort of major death nothing like moving within the 60 feet. 60 feet is about this whole room, so could be someone in here and they're staying still, but you don't really see anybody, and things seem fine, at least right here. You just can't really tell outside this room. With Fish's Eldritch Sight, you're looking around and you do see some like little sparks of magic and a couple of possibly magical items kind of on the other side of the room. And as you look over, you see that most of these sparks of magic seem to be coming from like boxes and containers and things that were opened. And for some of them, you're getting kind of the residue of like whatever was magical in here was taken somewhere else. But at least in one of the boxes, you'll see a little sparkle of something that is magical and still there.
Oh God, what if they're magic guns?
Oh, yeah. Cal does, through message, convey that, like, to the best of my knowledge, there's no one else in here.
And
Fish is
as
going to look for look at the thing.
okay. Do you like sneak over, kind of separate from the others a little bit, or are you all kind of going together, or what? Because that's like on the other side of the room.
They'll go by themselves.
Okay.
Do they take Kakano?
Relinquishing Kakano to Cal.
Okay. With your stealth check from before, as you head out into the room at large, you get away enough from the door that kind of the walls, the angle of the walls let you see more of the room, and you can see sort of the other entrances and exits. There does seem to be another door way off to your left, kind of at the end of this storage room. Directionally, that might kind of lead back into like the network of caves you just came from, and the door looks very similar from the one you just came from. So, maybe there's something that way, but it might also be that kind of separation between the natural caves and the base. To your right, and also sort of like kind of in front of you in the direction you're facing, are larger, not even tunnels, because they don't narrow that much, but spaces, pathways to perhaps other chambers or things like that. And they seem pretty well used and well trodden. And as you sneak over to the other side of the room, you find this open crate, sparkle of magic inside, and you pry open the lid the rest of the way, and you find a small tablet, little clay tablet covered with symbols. And as you look at it, you it was a long time ago, and you never got a particularly good look, but you do remember Erasmus smashing a tablet not dissimilar to this to create the silence effect. And I think you understand that there is, magical weapons, magical items that they are using in this group, but it seems fairly obvious that this piece was forgotten and they are stored elsewhere.
I'd like to do a simple check to see if Fish can possibly ascertain what this proto splash does.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a simple.
Either way, they're pocketing it.
Yep.
Dirty 20.
Okay. With a dirty 20, you're looking at it, and you see the first kind of symbols you see are like binding and capturing and things like that. And as you kind of look at it in the larger context, you see like, oh, the symbol for spiders. That's a weird thing to have on this. And as you keep going through and kind of like translating the whole thing, first of all, it's difficult because it is not like it kind of like Western symbols that you're familiar with. It seems like kind of things that are very similar to things you were studied mixed with things you haven't studied that are maybe more like Mesopotamian or something like that. Something that's kind of like a more foreign symbol magic style. But with the Dirty 20, you managed to translate that this is essentially a tablet of the web spell, where you will be able to throw it kind of like a grenade, and when it breaks, it will activate a web spell in the area.
Very helpful. They're taking it.
Yeah. Pocket it right there.
Yep.
Fish, are you going to let the others know what are likely in those boxes?
Yeah. So, over to Kakano, thinking it's explaining what it is, because if I verbalize, it'll be a very poor description, which would be more canonical. But I genuinely do want the information to be passed on. So, So yeah, tell Kakano, tell them.
Because again, May will convey that to Mercy and the Scythes.
Okay.
Yes.
They just write back, acknowledgement, presence of magical weapons. Definitely looks like we're looking at the second dawn here. We will have our people on kind of standby for that.
Oh, goodness.
Sorry, this is just the one tablet.
Just the one.
Okay.
They're carrying them like fucking ready to go.
Yeah. Well, Fish will also share that they think that that way over there leads back into the tunnels, and these are going further into like whatever facility this is, which that way means is probably the way that we'll actually find things that are helpful to us.
It seems like both of kind of the open tunnels are like deeper into the facilities. You can give me a check to see like which one is more used if you're trying to figure that out.
Yeah. What am I rolling for that?
Depends on what information you're trying to get. You could do like nature to see like, oh, is there like a bigger cave up ahead? Survival is like tracking cracks and movement. Perception to try to like hear something. Investigation to see like signs people have left. It kind of depends.
Investigation. I'm thinking of that this is that there's signs, as you say, but like construction, I suppose, things that like things that have been deliberately placed, like that would indicate that it's going towards a direction where there are more things that have been. Am I making any sense?
Yes, I'd say that's an investigation or perception check, kind of depending on exactly what you're looking for.
Investigating the evidence of humans and their activities.
Yeah, I will say investigations is like, hey, they opened this box with the spell tablets in it, and they clearly like took the contents somewhere. What direction did they go with it? Where's the scrapings of the box? Here's a little chip where they dropped one and it broke or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay. Unfortunately, these caves are not OSHA compliant.
Oh no. 14.
With a 14, you see that there is kind of evidence of crates and boxes and stuff being moved into both pathways, but the forward direction seems to be much more heavily used than the right.
Well, Fish tells the gang that. And then goes, guys, at any point I am accepting suggestions as to what to do next.
What is all y'all's passive perception?
Mine.
I don't love that question.
Mine is 8, Patrick. So,
13.
Pals is 13, Fish is 12, May is 18. So that means that May, who is also closest to the door you came through, at the edge of your hearing, you start to hear movement. You're not sure where it's coming from, but it's possible that somebody is coming back along the caves that you went through, or people disappeared down. And of course, you know that if they're trying to catch you at the bar, you haven't been there for a little while, and they're going to discover that pretty fast.
Lock the door. Fish goes and blocks the door with, shuts the door and does
Arcane lock.
What's it called?
Can't they just bust
Arcane
the
lock.
shit out of it though? Like they could physically kick the door down?
It does. So they can. Arcane Lock also reinforces the door and makes it physically stronger. It kind of like holds it together like a net so that the pieces can't get chipped out as easily. You can absolutely break it down, and it's kind of obvious to the magically aware that it's been sealed by somebody, which is in and of itself a sign. But actually breaking it down is more difficult than it would be. And this is obviously very flimsy construction, but sealing it does make it quite a bit stronger.
I was going to say,
Gonna
May will
do
do Molder and move like stone, like the 2 blocks of stone just in front of the door, so you can't pass it.
Sure. Which one would be
Whichever's
better?
like how strong, like how much. I guess like which one is going to have a better chance from a mechanical point of view of like holding someone off for longer.
You both notice as you're debating this, really quickly back and forth psychically, that this door does not have a lock on the inside, which means attempting to open it and finding it stuck will inherently be suspicious.
Okay.
Rocks blocking it from opening are less suspicious because they don't have kind of the magical signature of like this is sealed. That would lead someone to immediately conclude that. That someone has sealed it. But at the same time, what you can accomplish with a cantrip is not as much strengthening as what Fish can accomplish with an arcane lock. If you have something that's a little stronger to move more stone, that would be kind of a different discussion. But with just a cantrip, Fish's would be a more secure lock, while May's would be a more subtle one, potentially.
In that case, if Fish wants to do Arcane Lock, May will still do Molder, but she'll use the effect that makes it difficult terrain, and she's going to make it difficult terrain for the actual part where the door will be scraping against the wall, so it's mega loud.
I like that.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. You work together, Fish, pressing a hand against the door, and a sheen magic goes on with a faint locking noise that Fish hears psychically, and May rigs the door so that even if it does open, it will be very loud, and May can still hear the sound approaching. It's perhaps getting a little louder. Doesn't necessarily mean they're coming through this door, but they are kind of headed in this direction. What do y'all do? Can move
I want to
forward.
say
You can try
that
to post up here. You can try an ambush.
the sound that Fish hears is the Minecraft cave sound when you're near a cave, but you would have no way of knowing unless the game was like, "There's a cave nearby."
Yes.
That's this. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
Fuck. All right. Well, I think that's just to slow down whoever's coming back. Is okay. Is anything in the room sticking out as possibly cool or important?
With the perception check that you gave before, nothing else really. You may be able to like, I can break down this box and use it to kind of like barricade the other door or something like that. But nothing that's like this item in and of itself is cool and interesting. The way I'd say with you got a 16 before on the perception, I believe. With that, you can kind of see that this is like a secondary place where like extra stuff and kind of trash goes. So it's not like this is not the cool shit necessarily.
Okay. Anything heavy though?
Anything heavy? Yeah, you can find something decently heavy.
All right. Well, so with that door is a done deal. And Fish goes to May. All right, help me get the heavy thing and put it in front of the other one.
Didn't we literally just say this as a player? Didn't we literally just say that it would be like better to avoid suspicion and have it look kind of just coincidentally that the door's lock is fucked or something from the outside?
Not what that Fish is thinking.
Okay. May will communicate. That would be very suspicious, Fish, if it's blocked by something very heavy. Message, Mia.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was going into panic mode. I thought they knew that we were here already. All right, then yeah, then we won't, and we'll just keep going. Okay.
Okay. Where do you go?
Onward.
Onward. You've got forward and you've got to the right. Forward seems to be where there was more like stuff happening, more people moving in and out, and where the objects were probably mostly taken. To the right still seems to be kind of like deeper into the base, so to speak, but is less used, maybe a side area or something like that.
Well, we are here to stop operations, so probably going into the belly of the beast.
Yeah, tragically.
Yeah. Yes. So we're gonna go into where things are happening.
Okay. As
I didn't
you
like that.
Yeah.
as you head further in, you're going towards this big main path. It's barely a tunnel, more just an extension of the cave. And as you sneak through, you see that it's brighter in here. You see the chains of lights along the ceiling going deeper in. And you start to hear some sounds of some people, some talking, things like that. What kind of order are you walking in? Like who's in front, being able to hide more versus able to see more, things like that.
I think Fish is in front, May's in the middle, and Cal's at the back, holding Kakano. That's
Okay.
the way I'm picturing it.
Is it
We have
still
full
bright enough that
approval.
we don't need Darksight to lead?
It is still like fully bright, like indoor lighting.
Okay. Then yeah, and I think Cal is trying to just provide cover and just be super duper fucking paranoid.
Okay. Is Cal mostly like kind of looking behind them then, watching their back if they can't
Yeah.
be up front? Okay. Then I want Cal and Fish to give me perception checks.
Oh, May
Techno
can see
advantage.
it seems very attractive, beautiful.
May is in a nice little sandwich. And is that advantage with Kekano sniffs? Or is that a separate Kekano roll?
I'd say yes, it's advantage with Kekano sniffs.
Okay, but just for Cal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it dash hounds that are meant to be like the really good sniffers?
Yeah, he's a
Or
dash
is he
hound,
just-
didn't you know?
Yeah. But I was imagining like the same way dash hounds walk on their stupid little legs.
Okay,
Techno
so
leading the charge.
Kekano's
I've
not in his
rolled,
stupid little legs. He's sniffing from Cal's arms.
I've rolled, but I'm concerned about interference because I didn't bring my box up because I'm a fool. So I've rolled, and it kind of like skipped and landed from the table on my laptop. I'm worried that that's not okay.
That's valid.
So
I think as long as it landed
Huh?
flat, that's fine. If
Yeah.
it's cocked or
It sure
anything, you
did.
gotta roll
Yeah,
it. But if it landed
Is
flat,
it a
that's
nat
cool.
1 or is it a nat 20?
No, it's a 17, which makes it 19 total. But
Yeah,
and so I'm
an
just
18
like,
total for
no,
me.
that's
Interference
probably
to re-roll is kind of like you rolled it and you saw the number, and then your cat ran up and swiped it really fast, and it rolled to something else, and you're like, should it be the first number or the second number?
okay. Gotcha.
It
All
landed
right.
flat, so I think it's fine.
It just did it. It just jumped first. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you got you rolled a 17. What was that total?
19.
19. Okay, and for Cal?
18.
18. Cal is keeping a sharp eye out behind you as you go, keeping an eye on the doors, the one that's blocked, and the one that's not, the other pathway that someone could theoretically come through, and most of all, keeping an ear out for sounds. And so she is the first to notice when it sounds like someone stops outside the door that you blocked and tries the handle. At the front, Fish is the first one to round the corner, sort of pressing up against the wall and just peeking out, and start to see some wood and some canvas and then sort of a riot of color, and you see that this cave that you're about to enter opens up into what seems to be like the main living area for the base, the main part of the base. As you peek out, you can see little curtained alcoves that hold beds and personal belongings, some that are actual frame beds brought down here, other sleeping bags, or just mattresses on bare earth. More storage. You see a small like metalworking bench where someone could repair or build firearms. You can see a little bit in the distance, maybe the corner of some tables of like a dining area. It seems like you found the big main area, and as you sort of peek out in that corner with a 23, I believe you said it was, um, you see.
Stealth?
No, perception.
No, 19.
19. Okay.
Should have said.
I'm all about the integrity here.
Gotta
Yeah,
make
you
up
know,
for Fish.
with the 19 being under a 20, you don't get quite as much warning to like duck back out of the way. But you do still see that the only kind of like real door in this place is pretty close to you, to your left, kind of like at the start of this living area. It opens and a woman steps out. You have just a moment to duck back before she potentially sees you, which means you don't get a great view. But with that 19, you see that it is not Nine Rosewood or anyone else that you recognize, um, but it seems to be a a lot of the skin is covered, but you see what seems to be a black woman with sort of flowing garments a little bit, seem to be carrying something as she hustles out of this door and you duck back around.
Fish does like the whole motion.
Hmm.
And like ducks a little bit and just sort of like, all right, let's observe and see what happens next. But their thought is like, if she's not a threat, then just fucking let her do her thing.
Okay. As you are doing that, Cal can start to hear someone trying to work at that door, sort of shaking it, pushing on it, kicking it a little bit. Nothing that's like, oh, this is locked. Just like, this is stuck. And a little bit of voices, and then trying to push it through again. And as you are in this kind of tunnel, you are a little bit trapped and need to make a very quick choice here. You can go forward, hopefully able to hide yourself from this woman in the next room, but you will obviously not obviously be very difficult to hide from someone so close to you, kind of looking around, and but it's also one person, so you may be able to overpower them or do something like that, or you could retreat and try to hide in the storage room. Hopefully, the um, enemies that are knocking go around, or just think that the door is naturally stuck or something like that. Um, but those are kind of the choices to do.
Fish asks, how do we feel about taking hostages?
Mac through message. Disapprove.
Okay. How do we feel about making this woman trip?
That's fine.
You're up then. Grease it up.
Can she use shadows or something instead? I was thinking grease is also. Where did this grease come from?
Yeah, no, I think Cal can just do.
No, then Fish will like just peel her ankle.
Yeah,
like
I was
a-
gonna say.
a
I mean, you're
platform.
technically not allowed to use Mage Hand for an attack roll.
What about you, like, Mage Hand to, like, yank at the edge of her robe and cause her to stumble?
Well, like it's kind of a thing of being like Mage Hand, but we're saying it's like a shadow sphere kind of thing, where it's like a non-lethal damage, and it's also just to
I will
do
not.
an athletics instead of.
I will not let you do Mage Hand to do damage, but if you do want to try to like catch her ankle with it and like
Yeah.
get her to trip or stumble or something, you can. You can also do something that's a little bit more incapacitating or restraining, like using a grease spell or like an ensnaring strike or something like that. Or you can go for kind of like
or a
damage.
web.
Or
Is
a
there
web.
anything in the room that like is like on a shelf and can fall over or something like that?
Tons. There's
Yeah.
tons of things that are like very precariously balanced. A lot of like crates that are half open and weren't like put back properly and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thought there is make sure it's something that she will be fully turned away from us, and we
Mhm.
just race by.
Yeah, no, the Cal will find something that would probably that looks like, again, something precarious that would reasonably tip over or fall over and in a far facing away direction. And I'll do that with a shadow spear.
Okay. Sounds good. Let me double check this. Ba, 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 ba.
And can I get sneak attack?
Are you trying to like actually do damage to something? Here's what I'll let you do. If it's something that's like kind of close to you, just trying to get her to like turn around where she is, you can just do that. If you are trying to like hit something that's farther away to like get her to either turn her attention farther away from you or like actually go somewhere else, that's going to require an attack roll because you'd have to basically snipe it with a shadow spear.
Meaning that, but what do you guys think? We can always try the closer thing if I miss. My shadow spear,
Yeah.
you know. Wait, let me think. Do I have anything with nonverbal components?
Otherwise, May can do mold earth again, and like I don't know, jut out a little piece of wall so
Is that
knock something
nonverbal?
out. Yeah, I just do
Moldorf
it.
is just semantic. There is components V and S or verbal and semantic.
Yeah, it's semantic.
Okay.
Keep that in your back pocket for when silence gets used.
I love
Yeah.
mold earth. I was a bit like, bit of a shit spell, but now I'm like, actually, this fucks.
I mean, the point of cantrips is they are kind of like always useful. You know, they don't do a lot.
Yeah.
As long as you're creative with them, they are always useful.
Yeah, I don't have any non-verbal spells, so I think we should do that with Miss May.
May like,
I will say because you used Mage Hand to help with the door before, we can say that it's still like cast, and this is like the last thing you can do with it before it's disappeared. So that won't require you to recast it again verbally.
Okay.
So that's also an option.
Cool. I mean, it does only last a minute. Have we gotten through here in a minute?
I mean,
I don't think so.
It's been like 3 or 4 minutes, but I'm willing to just be like, yeah, and then I use the Mage Hand to like help open this box, and then I just had it out to not have to
it's
recast
sitting
it.
on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like in
She wraps Kekano in it, so he wouldn't be cold.
Cradle, like a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably 10 pounds. You probably can't carry him. Yeah, so okay, I'll use a Mage Hand to bump something.
Okay. Roll me a deception check with advantage.
That is a 21.
With a 21, you tip a pot over behind her, and she swings around to look at it, and you can tell from the body language, hands going up, that she is a mage of some description. Now you can try to get across the room while she is distracted. You can, of course, hear behind you more sounds of trying to get through the door, and this is going to be a very quick snap decision. If you go a little bit farther into the room, you can hide behind some crates or in someone's small little like bed alcove, but it won't get you very far in the room, and you will be functionally trapped there if someone comes down the hallway you just went past. So something that could be a very short-term solution, which you would not need to roll a new stealth check for. You can get a decent ways across the room to this other side tunnel you can see off to one side, which will require you to do a new stealth check at disadvantage because you're essentially kind of running. But will have a kind of lower DC because you're kind of out visible for a shorter amount of time, or you can try and get much deeper into this like main part of the facility, which is a new stealth check and a higher DC.
Okay. My thought is run on through, and as we're running, Fish chucks web at her. And also like May very much should be like, hey, we've got probably there's a mage in here, black lady, she's wearing flowy garments. Fish, what did you say? She's pretty.
Do we want to use web though?
She has her own opinions.
I think like in that like feasibly if we can get through, it won't necessarily kind of give them the idea that we're here. That's what I'm thinking.
But are
Fish
they
is in
going,
panic
also
mode,
going to?
I'm telling
Yeah,
you this.
Are they
amazing
also going to
fish.
get the idea because of the door being sealed? You know, maybe that ship has sailed, but maybe not.
They're gonna get the idea eventually.
Yeah, I was like, both me and May would be like, let's avoid giving ourselves away until we absolutely have to.
So the hide plan.
I mean, I was thinking if like it'd probably be better for us to try and get into, unless there's a really obvious good hiding spot where we can just wait out. But like also, I don't fancy being trapped.
But that is the case because that would let us keep a 29.
Oh yeah, true.
It's just we can't stay there forever.
Yeah, and this woman, based on her reaction as a potential mage, she's on high alert. A possible threat, you know.
I'm good with hide and seek. Like, I'm also good with the.
Do we have handcuffs? Important question.
You do have one set.
Okay, one set. No,
I'm also good with running and taking the disadvantage with lower DC. I feel like going further into the antechamber doesn't have any pros.
Yeah, I'm less worried about the taking disadvantage because my infusion cancels out of disadvantage. So I'm just going to roll good the first go.
If you were like trying to do like maybe there's a control room or like a safe place where we can like lock them out and control everything, that's where you could run even deeper into like the main area. But you know, it's kind of a high
belief that Fish has that is not held by
player. Yeah, fair enough. And it is a very high risk, high reward situation. I will also point out the disadvantage does not cancel out the pass without trace that you
Yeah,
have.
exactly.
So it's disadvantage.
I
but
agree.
That's
with
still a
+10.
plus 14 for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should do runny run unless anybody has a hard.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Time to roll.
Everybody give me a stealth check with disadvantage. May rolls flat. No advantage or disadvantage. And you'll try to get through.
30
And
20.
what do we get from Pass Without Trace again? +10?
+10.
Okay.
Plus whatever your
24.
usual stealth is.
That
But-
is 19.
Okay, dirty 20,
Still adding
19.
the 10.
You're including the 10, I got an 8. And I get a natural +1 stuff.
Gotcha.
Okay, was the dirty 20 including the 10 as well?
Yep.
Okay, dirty 20, 19, and for fish?
24.
24. All right.
It's the fear.
It is go time. As soon as you start running, you hear a short bout of silence behind you, and then noise as it seems they are going to be trying to break down the door that you sealed. Someone realized that it was sealed rather than just blocked. Someone there may know something about the magic that is keeping them out. And as you think to yourself, ready, set, go, pull up the shadows around you as much as you can, sprint out into this open space behind this woman. You get about halfway across before she starts to spin towards you. Someone with a very good perception.
Well, us instead of the sound of the door being broken down.
Also, the sound of the door being broken down, potentially. Spinning in spinning towards you, you have a split second as you see her more clearly. Not Carmine, but a woman you don't recognize, wearing sort of flowing robes and a kind of gauzy veil that covers
Really?
just her mouth and lower face. As she's turning towards you, raising her hands and gathering power, you have a split second to make the decision to throw the tablet or do something else.
Web, throw the tablet.
Okay. I will need Fish to roll initiative.
Also,
Yeah, no, Ellie, sorry. Go.
I was gonna say, otherwise I was gonna use Mulder to like push her off her feet and startle her. If it's within the 30 feet as we're passing by. But only if it's clear that she's seen us.
Well, yeah, Patrick, well, okay, I can't ask him. I'm asking you guys. What do we want to go with, Web or Mulder?
Web.
I think you already decided on Web.
Yeah.
I think you've just
Yeah.
got to roll your initiative.
Okay, I already did, is the thing, and I don't like it. It's 3.
Hey, it's
Well,
good
you've made your
initiative.
choice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
3.
Do we want to
Um,
coin this?
You do have a coin. Actually, both Fish and Cal have a coin, and you can use the coin at no cost at any time for any roll, which means it is outside of like initiative order or anything. Cal can also do it for this.
And we inherit coins, right?
Um,
Out of universe, for some reason, Metal was compelled to give a coin to May.
I think no.
I've got silvery barbs. I don't need a fucking coin.
I will say, Silvery Barbs does not go for initiative.
Really? Oh, still, I'm not too fussed about initiative. It'd be more like if Fish is like, I'm going to roll like something to make sure this tablet lands, and then they flop. May would be like stepping in.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, Mooney, I think your idea is really great, but I want to save the coin for a super pivotal moment.
Yep.
And I also do love my cringe fail son. Like, you know, sometimes you got to take the L.
I don't want to die, but I get it.
All right. What do
I'm
you
sorry if you hear that dog.
Yeah, that's a 3.
Okay. 3 in initiative. With a 21 in initiative, she manages to get her spell off before you get yours. I need Fish to make a wisdom saving throw and give me a let me know if it is higher than a 19.
Can I just use silvery barbs right now?
Silvery Bards if the enemy succeeds. If someone succeeds.
Okay.
So it doesn't count as saving throws.
Okay.
There may be an opportunity to do Silvery Barbs in a moment, but we'll see.
Yeah.
She succeeded.
Okay, what was that roll?
6.
6, okay. As she turns towards you, let me get a little background sound in here. Maybe this one. That's funky. Okay. As she turns to you, you raise up the tablet, ready to flick it forward, but she's faster. You see someone experienced in combat, someone always ready. And as she raises a hand, you find it empty. And you look into her eyes, and you see a flash of orange light in her eyes before she kind of ripples and changes. And you see Cal in front of you. And you turn to look at these 2 figures you were running towards. And you see 2 Second Dawn agents drawing guns, about to shoot. With just a small pressure, imperceptible at the back of your mind, you recognize the new threat. And you turn and you chuck the web directly at May.
Can I use silvery barbs?
Well, in order to get it to hit in the right area, Fish is going to have to make a attack roll. So that is something you can potentially silvery barbs.
Yep.
This is going to be a proficient dexterity throw. So I believe you add 5 to it, if I am right. So it should be about the same as like your paired magnetic daggers, like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, +5 to hit.
All right. Plus 5.
So D20 +5.
Yep. 14.
14. With a 14, you don't manage to get right at their feet. It's a little bit in front of them, but that is still enough to get them very solidly in the 20-foot cube. You can use silvery barbs to try to make that miss, but it is up to you, May.
Yeah, okay. I do it, right? And do I have to roll anything, or is it just the inquiry rolls?
It just happens. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So Fish now has to re-roll that, same modifiers and everything, and you can give, for the next minute, I believe, you can give someone an advantage that they can use on something.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to...
Okay, that one wasn't a real roll because it went to the side.
Neither May or Cal have rolled anything yet, have they? I think I might give it to Cal.
Okay.
19.
19. You see that Fish turns, goes to throw the tablet at you. May's eyes flash silver for just a moment as she says, "Fish, it's us!" And there's a slight pause. And then Fish continues the throw and nails May.
I don't know about that.
Breaking the tablet open. Webs shoot out everywhere, coating all of you, and also coating Fish, who is standing within 10 feet of you. So I need all three of you to make a dexterity saving throw, DC 13.
Oh, that's advantage for me.
If you want to use your advantage on this, you can use it for one thing, I believe, over the next minute.
I got 12.
Is that another +5 since it's dexterity again?
Yeah, you may have different bonuses for your dexterity saving throw. Dexterity, it looks for you, is a +1.
Oh, yes.
Because I don't think you
Sorry,
have
hold on.
proficiency on dexterity saving throws.
18 for me.
Okay, 18. And for Fish?
$13.
13. Okay. May, right at the epicenter, gets absolutely covered and is stuck to the ground and sort of like forced to your knees under the weight of this web, and you are restrained. Cal manages to shadow wave cut threads that are flying at her, jumps up, manages to land on top, and as she and she knows that she has a moment to move before it'll try to stick to her again. And Fish, knowing where the webs are coming from, manages to duck behind a box and come out the other side, ready to fight. Now I need May and Cal to roll initiative.
That's a 19. Fish on +1 for initiative. Yeah, 19.
7.
Okay, so I believe Fish got
when is
3?
Yes, 3. When is Fish allowed to realize they've fucked up?
You are currently under the Dominate Person spell, which means your actions and perceptions are entirely controlled by this
Fish
other
in the
person.
back of their mind. Hot.
Yes, you will get the opportunity to make more saving throws, I believe, but it's not like...
They asked where the Dom station was.
Yeah.
It's here.
You don't like figure it out. You just are under control.
Okay, cool. Then they do not scream, "Fuck, I'm sorry."
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Because this is a higher level, because this is a higher level kind of charming spell, you actually do not re-roll the control unless you take damage.
5.
Okay.
Fish is now a member of the Second Dawn.
Well, it doesn't last all that long. It lasts for a minute, but yeah, for right now, Fish is a member of the Second Dawn. It is now going to be it's actually going to be Cal's turn for just a quick moment. Actually, no, because that's functionally a surprise round. Yeah, no, it's the random woman's turn. You hear a whisper in the back of your mind, Fish, that says capture them. But how you do so is sort of up to your thing. That's something you want to do. You want to capture them, but you get to like kind of choose how you do it rather than the more precise control afforded by turning and throwing the web.
So is May stuck in the web?
May is stuck in the web. Cal is not.
Okay. Well, that counts as captured to Fish.
Yeah. It absolutely counts as captured to Fish. If May like struggles enough or gets out of it, that becomes an issue that needs to be solved. But for right now, May is taken care of. Just need to worry about Cal.
Yep.
So the woman who you don't know turns to Cal, and I need Cal to make a wisdom saving throw as well. DC 19.
That's a nat 20.
A nat 20. Very nice. You feel psychic pressure in your mind, and you realize that this woman is a sensitive of some description, and is influencing people's mind, which also gives you the thing of being like, it also gives you the opportunity of being like, oh, okay, I understand what's happening with Fish now. That is now May's turn. You are restrained, so you can use your action to try and free yourself, which would be your whole turn. Or I believe there are some limited things you can do while you're restrained. Let me just double check that. You can't move. Your speed is 0. You can still attack, provided you have like the, ability to. If you're like, I need to reach into my bag and get this thing, you probably can't do that. But if it's like, yeah, I pull out my gun and shoot it, you can still probably accomplish that. But you cannot move. You have disadvantage on all attack rolls, and attack rolls against you have advantage, and you have disadvantage on further dexterity saving throws.
And all attacks, that includes magical attacks that don't require movement?
Yep. Disadvantage on anything that requires you to roll an attack roll.
Okay. I'm doing a bit of some big thinking. To see if there's anything I have of use to me. I'm also trying to think of what I have that would be likely to succeed even with a disadvantage. I'm such a dickhead, I should have used counterspell, but whatever. What do I need to roll to get out? Like, what's the specific?
A strength check. Yes.
My strength
which
check.
Is just which is not a saving throw, not like anything else, just your strength modifier. So -1.
Yeah. Okay.
With a -1, you need to get a 13 or higher.
Okay. May's gonna try and free herself.
Okay.
Should she? Is it clear that Fish has turned their attention to Cal?
Yes.
And is the woman's attention still on Fish?
Woman's attention seems to be on Fish and Cal. You can I'd say with your passive perception and insight, you can tell that she is like aware of you, but she's not focusing on you. So if you do something, she can bring her focus back to you very quickly. She's kind of like aware of everything going on, but you are not the focus. So.
Okay. Actually, May's gonna attack her then. And my logic is that, like, after everything with Jonas, May can somewhat recognize magical enspellment. Okay, so I'm gonna do information overload. How does this work with the disadvantage? Is it like I roll 4 times, like I 4 d8s and choose the 2 lowest, or?
Let me check the wording of information overload. No, the woman you're targeting has to make a intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if she does a failed save, it's 1d8 psychic damage and disadvantage on the next attack roll. Wait. Why is it 2d8 here?
Because I've leveled up. When you
yes, you have, because you're over 5th level. Yeah, okay, 2d8 plus 3 psychic damage. We'll do that intelligence saving throw. She fails. She was not focused on you enough. Go ahead and roll your damage, and she has disadvantage on her next attack roll, and this may cause her to lose concentration.
That's a 6 all up. Plus 3, so that's... Or is the 6 separate to...
It's whatever you rolled plus 3.
Yeah, okay, so 9.
Okay. 9 damage, which... Let me write that down. You can see that this effect kind of takes her by surprise. She clutches her head and blood starts dripping out of her nose. It doesn't seem like she has shitloads of health. So this seems like a pretty damaging for not being, tons of damage, if that makes sense. And now she needs to make a Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on that spell.
That's what I was hoping for.
Okay. She succeeds, and as she looks up and make eye contact with you, you start to feel a little bit of feedback in your own mind. And then you see a little blood on the webs around you, and suddenly your head is in so much pain, and you also take 9 points of psychic damage.
Yes! Lucky May's a bit of a taint compared to the others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blood just gushing out the nose.
Mm-hmm. Since this is turning more into a actual combat, I will say we will finish this kind of round of initiative, and if everybody is still uncaptured and kind of actively in combat, we will actually move to the battle map.
Okay. Ted, not the time.
Ted doesn't like it. Also, Emmy doesn't like it because I just started hearing her cry downstairs when May was getting attacked.
Oh, that's very sad.
For a bonus action, can May try to free herself?
No, it's either a full action, or since you already used it to cast a spell, if you have something else that's a bonus action.
Is there anything I can do as a bonus action that's not necessarily a spell?
You could make a perception check to try to see more things in your area. You can do a insight check to try to figure out something about this woman or something. You could toss one of your stones and try to distract her in some way.
No, I don't think it's going to work. Because I was thinking the only stone I could really throw would be the one that has someone screaming fire on it. But like, it'll be pretty obvious where that's coming from if May throws the stone right in front of her.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Can May roll to see how much HP she has left?
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
Yeah. Not a good one. May's head is pounding. Sorry, I'm just writing my medicine. It's a 6. May's like, oh!
With a 6, you really don't know. Clearly, you kind of injured her, and she's annoyed, but you don't know how much actual damage that it did and how much health she has. That brings us to Cal's turn. You are starting touching the web, so you need to make another dexterity saving throw.
Can I, because you said that I had a minute before it was going to come at me again, can I shadow step away?
Yes. If you want to use shadow step immediately before you have to roll that, I will allow you to.
That was my plan.
Yeah.
And then
technically not in the rules, but it's creative and I like it. So
yeah, so that would be my bonus action, and then I will probably do
is there anywhere specific you want to shadow step? Because there's a lot of like cover in here and like things you can hide behind and things.
Yeah,
like
I plan on hiding. I think I want to be a little closer to where we came from, just so I can hear if Dormammu would come to market. Sorry, that was a joke just for Patrick. If they've made any progress in getting the door open, so more on that side. But yeah, just a nice hidey hole.
Okay. So you want to jump kind of backwards. I can give you a perception check as a free action, but what do you want to do for your actual action?
Hide.
Okay. Give me a stealth check. You still have the plus 10.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Let me just double check that. Yeah. Now make a perception check to try to see the what's happening behind you with the door.
That's only a 6.
Okay. With a 6, you are distracted from the door because you see this woman's eyes follow you as you shadow step away. And it seems like she cannot see you and you're behind cover, but she knows where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Her passive perception is high enough to be your dirty 20 hide. That brings us to Fish's turn. You have to do whatever you can in your power to try and capture Cal and May, and May is taken care of right now, seemingly. Although you could do something to, like, batten her down more fully if you have the ability.
Good, but Fish is like, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
So just remind me, please, of like what they think they're saying.
You are seeing enemies. You're seeing a enemy that you've successfully trapped in webs, and you see another enemy that just managed to teleport away out of the webs and is now hiding somewhere. With your passive perception, you actually can't see Cal, and you don't know exactly where she went, but you think that is an enemy who is kind of actively hunting you. Maybe she's running away at the moment. Maybe she's looking to surprise you, but you're trying to defend your friends.
Well, and for some reason, this enemy inexplicably has Kekino in their arms.
Yes.
And
they've captured Kekino. Yeah.
Yeah, they've captured him. This sounds familiar. Fish.
Is Kekino not doing anything?
No, Fish thinks to Kekino, oh, buddy, I'm sorry that you're in this situation, but, like, you gotta bite whoever's holding you and, like, also call out to me so that I can find you better. They take out the handcuffs and they're like, I'm ready to handcuff Kekino.
Okay.
Help me out here, buddy.
here's the thing. Kekino is his own entity and therefore not under the mind control, but he is also your familiar, which means you can override his actions. So, if you are trying to convince him to bite what he knows to be Cal, you can make a persuasion check with disadvantage, or you can order him to do it, and he will bite Cal regardless, but you have to order him to do it, which is not necessarily the most comfortable thing for him.
They're not that far gone yet. I'm gonna go. Can I say that they're not that far gone yet?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. Yeah. This is a Teddy's joining us.
Hi, Teddy.
This is yeah. They're like, go on, Kekino. Like, you're in danger, so you got to do
Save
it,
yourself.
right? Persuasion disadvantage. Oh god, that's a dirty 20. Kekino's like, okay.
Kekino goes, Dad, you want me to bite Caligulus? And Caligulus like fuzzes into your mind into the enemy. And he goes, I'll do it if you want to, but I don't really want to. That seems scary and not good and not nice. Dad, your brain is all like foggy and stuff, and I can't really tell what's going on.
Okay, well, at least call out so I know where you are. I can come get you.
Okay, I'm over here, Dad. I'm over here.
Does this allow for Fish to locate Cal?
Yes. You know
Okay,
where Cal
wonderful.
is. Cal is still technically hidden, which means unless you can. Here's what's going on. Cal is still. You know where Cal is, but she's still technically hidden. But now that you know what area she's in, you can roll a perception check, which is potentially going to be higher than her stealth. And if you don't get that, you still know a general area, so you can attack her with disadvantage or do a area of effect thing.
Gonna do a perception.
Okay, give me that perception check.
10.
With a 10, you just kind of know generally where she is. There's kind of like a 5 to 10 square foot area that you're like, she's definitely over there. That's where Kekino is. I can sense Kekino, and that's where I heard him from. But you don't know exactly where she is, so you can hit her with an area of effect, or you can attack with disadvantage.
Fish does not want to hurt Kekino, so they will not do an area of effect. But can Find Familiar simply respawn Kekino to Fish's hand?
Yes.
We're gonna do that for his safety.
Okay.
And then, yes, we'll do that.
Okay. So you use your action to dismiss Kekino. Your next turn, you'll be able to use an action to bring him back into this world in your arms, right next to him.
Dismiss him outright. No.
Well, it's like before. You're just kind of like putting him in a pocket dimension for a moment. He's not like disappearing. You're just kind of like, a little step to the left.
Teleport.
Yeah, just kind of like out of this reality for a moment. He's been there before,
Okay.
and he's been like, it's weird. I could kind of hear Granddad, but there was no one else there.
Also, a round is only 3 seconds, so he blips out for 3 seconds.
Okay. My concern is that last time
It's 6 seconds.
this
Round is
happened,
6 seconds.
Cal was traumatized by seeing the dead teacup, and I don't want that again. There's gonna be no teacup pieces.
I mean, there might be, but this isn't Cal, so.
Yeah,
No, it's a
Aang's
team
not making that
concern.
decision. Fish is.
Okay. Bring me my boy, so that next turn I may. Well, not. No. Yes. Next turn, he may respawn in my arms, and like the guy holding the photo of the guy holding the cat and holding out a katana. And then the bonus action will be Blasphemous Darts. I do not need to be voicing this aloud. That's
Okay.
the plan.
Kekino, Cal, in your arms, Kekino is kind of squirming and like trying to get away from you a little bit. And it's like, Caligulus, can you let me down? Dad's calling for me. He told me to bite you, which I don't like. But I'm yelling out, Dad, I'm over here. I think I need to get down. I need to get down. And then he just disappears. And there is a sort of like light brown water dripping from your hands. As he just kind of, with a very faint pop, disappears from your hands. And then for Blasphemous Darts, I think you need to be able to see her. I think that's not.
Oh no, that's gonna be next turn once they've uncovered her.
Yeah, you can't see her to do a Blasphemous Darts, but you can do something else as a bonus action.
How much movement is left?
You've still got all of your movement. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm. 12.
With a 12, you start to use your movement, and you get about 10 feet before the webs start trailing off your legs and kind of stick to you. You are now restrained. You're kind of at the edge of the webs, so once you get out, you won't need to roll this anymore unless you go closer to May. You kind of can go around to get to where Cal is, but right now you kind of like try to move and then get stuck.
Okay, and so they're kind of doing these ones like, all right, can I see anyone? No? All right. End my turn.
All right. That leads to the top of the round. And this mysterious woman's turn. Let me just double check something. Yeah, he would hear the fighting, so he would do that. Okay. Cal is close enough to hear the door shatter in the room behind. It's still going to take a little while for people to kind of like break through and get there, but it seems like backup is on the way. And now, what is this person going to do? She has disadvantage on this attack because of May.
Are we going into Owlbear yet?
Yeah, this is the top of the round. Let's move into Owlbear Rodeo. Let me get in the room.
I love Fish being the leader.
It's going great.
Will they feel some kind of way after this? Do you reckon?
I like my fish possession speedrun joke. None of you appreciated it. It's good.
I enjoyed
I
it.
said ha ha ha.
Oh,
Also,
that's what that was about. I thought.
Fucked up sizing
I'm
this
sorry.
map. Hold on.
I'm so sorry, Mooney. I thought you were laughing at Cal morally opposes a hostage. We kill her instead.
No, I was laughing at you.
Which I
was
really
laughing
like.
That
at
is
you.
also funny.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realize I actually fucked up the sizing of the map, so I need to fix that real fast.
The room changes around us.
This sensitive is more powerful than we initially thought.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Well, if I'm right, then yes. Yep, I am right. Sorry, I've just decided.
About what?
This is Turn's sister.
Oh!
Wow, this image does not want to align. Sorry, I'm having struggles.
I'm honestly weighing up, because I'm looking at my attack spells, right? And I'm weighing up, like, how much HP May has. If, like, the sensitive is going to, like, double back whatever damage May does onto her. I'm literally like, I have a spell that if I rolled really well could potentially kill this fucking sensitive in a one-hit KO and actually leave May standing. But then I'm like, but then May will be fucked for whatever comes through.
We've got healer. We've got healers.
Yeah, true. And I'm also like, I think May would kill in self-defense. I think that's in character for her.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think May's killed before.
So do I, actually.
And
Never
will kill
like taking
again.
pleasure in it. But like, if prompted, will defend herself.
Yeah, some Nazis definitely like cornered her in a ruin at some point and been like,
Yeah,
give me the
sure.
gold. And
We're like, we want
Yeah.
the spear that killed Christ. And May was like,
Yeah,
that's
and she
not
shot him in the
something I
head.
have on offer, but okay. Okay,
The
the
Lance of Logic.
alignment on this is still a little fucked up, but it is enough to serve. Let me.
What is it serving, Patrick?
It's serving death and destruction. Oh my god, why is my mouse being so bad? Okay, there we go, and let's get you these link. Oop. It's totally blank right now. That's on purpose.
Okay.
Fills us with confidence.
It's the
Oh
whole
my god, I
network of
forgot
tunnels.
about the fucking... I forgot to change my name.
Yeah. I don't think it's happening today, guys.
Okay,
Oh.
and Kekino does not exist right now. Okay. This
Winnie, can you change
is
your color or shall I do that?
Edit name?
Oh boy, this is a big map.
No, I don't
I'll
know.
change my
Jesus.
color, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm going red because evil.
Yeah. I'm still not seeing anything.
yeah, I know. I'm getting it up right now.
I'm stress drinking so much water, I think I'm going to need to pee again shortly.
At least you're hydrated.
Yep.
I'm making crisp decisions.
Okay, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Okay, cool.
Uh-huh. There's me. There's Fish. There's... Are we supposed to know this name?
You haven't been introduced?
I
to her
didn't
yet.
see it then.
That doesn't matter.
Blah.
You don't know who it is, so. And then Fish can also see over in this area.
Ooh, a sexy bear rug.
Yep. Sexy bear rug. And
This is where grand management's back close to fuck.
That'd be weird. Like, humans don't fuck on human skin. Well,
You don't?
yeah, you don't? Are you sure?
No, I may actually.
Cringe fail.
Ah, the little charmed heart.
Yep. And May is restrained, and
Where the fuck's Cal? Oh, over there.
Yep,
She's there.
and Cal is hiding, and then I need. What do I need? I need a marker for where the web is. Which is a 20-foot square.
I was gonna say she better be fucking stuck in there as well.
In
Never
general,
mind. Yeah.
getting out of this.
I missed that, Rennie. Say again.
I said, in general, what's her plan for getting out of this?
Okay, so here's what my plan I was going to put to Patrick. I was going to see if May could do another attack, and then as a bonus action, but like do the thing where you roll for the success, even though it would usually be fine, to try and like, if there's like an obvious circuit with the lights, like at the start of the room, or at like May was going to use Mulder and like break that circuit and therefore put the entire room into darkness and give Cal a chance to flee. Because May's like, I'm probably not getting out of this. I'm probably going to be taken hostage, but there's a chance, like, and Fish as well, but there's a chance Cal might still make it out and be able to call in help.
Okay.
And then like May would also be like, okay, go right now.
Get out of here! Save yourself! Yeah, what is this woman gonna do? I think she is going to do yes, she is going to do a thing on Cal. Let me just get the wording for it. Yep, there it is. Okay, that is another wisdom saving throw that Cal needs to make. With a 12, you hear in your mind echoing, approach, 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 and you feel your leg muscles start stiffening as, against your will, you start walking towards this woman. Yeah,
It's
doesn't.
too late for me to.
You don't actually move until your next turn.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you can't silvery barbs because again, it was a saving throw.
I was gonna say counterspell, but
Oh, you can do counterspell.
yeah, I'm also tossing up there like, it's a. No, I'll hold off on it for now. I just think it's probably gonna be more useful to try to beat the shit out of this one.
Okay. It is almost invisible just on this map, so I am also drawing it to draw your attention to it. This is the area of web. Okay. That is this woman is then going to step around here to kind of more behind Fish, and is going to do something that you can't see or tell what's happening, so that doesn't matter for you.
Great.
Okay, that
I'm sure
is
it's fine.
that is May's turn.
Yeah, okay. So is my case a legitimate one, Patrick? To try and do Mulder as a bonus cantrip?
You cannot use Mold Earth as a bonus cantrip, but your idea of breaking the circuit is one I would allow. But you'd have to make some checks to figure out the engineering behind it.
Okay. And how
You can cut
far
the
away
lights
does
off,
it?
you can, like, try to free yourself.
Yeah, how far away does it sound like the person in the door is?
Give me a perception check.
It's not great. Well, I got disadvantage as well for that, don't I?
No, not
okay.
disadvantage. It's not an attack roll.
That is an 11.
With an 11, you can hear sounds coming from the corridor behind Cal, and
Cal.
Yes, Cal retreated, so she went back towards the storage room, which is where the door was.
Okay.
You can hear some sounds behind Cal, and you can hear some noises maybe deeper in the facility, but you can't really pinpoint those, and you don't know about how far they are with a 10. If you want to try to cut the lights, I need you to give me a tool check.
Please, God. Please, God. That's an 8.
That's an 8? Okay.
Yeah, I don't need disadvantage. The dice are like, you webbed up it.
Yeah. With a 8, you're looking at the string of lights up there, and you say, okay, I can't really tell from this angle which is the input and which is the output. I can absolutely cut it somewhere, and I don't know, whether it's going to stop the lights on that side or this side.
Okay. Which direction are the lights running in?
There is, if you look at Owlbear, there is a major string of lights that goes like this way that you can see. And then there is a maybe separate, maybe the same string that goes like down here and then loops up here.
Okay, and sorry. One last question. With the lights, they're like between each light they're suspended, right? It's not like I can cut one thing and the whole thing comes down.
No, but you can try to cut the wire, and that will, depending on which side you get it on, maybe shut off some of the lights.
Fucking hell. Guys, what do you reckon? Either that or I'm gonna get ready to try and beat the shit out of this bitch. I'm going to throw force at her with all my might, or I can try and get Cal out of this.
I think we gotta take out the actual, the lady.
Yep. Okay. Mania, you in agreement? Yeah, okay. I'm going to do information overload again, but I'm going to add a spell point, which adds an extra 2d8.
Okay.
So it's 4d8 plus 3.
4d8 plus 3.
Yeah.
He has to roll a intelligence saving throw. I will also remind you that your Fortunate Soul ability is something that just happens. So
I used it, remember?
Yes, but you've had a long rest since then, we decided.
Did we? I thought we didn't. I thought that was not a thing.
Yeah,
oh, it counts? Yeah, okay, yeah. I will... Yeah.
I will let you use Fortunate Soul as a bonus action. We'll just say that going forward.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so you still want to do... You still want to do information overload, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, Patrick. With how it works, I would be putting it on myself?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can put it on yourself, or, yeah, you're the only one in range.
Yeah, okay.
Because no one else is right next to you. So, yeah, you would do it on yourself.
Okay.
Okay. Let me do that intelligence saving throw.
God, I hope she fails it.
She gets a +2 to this, And what does she need to beat? What are your spell save DC?
It is. Sorry, I was finding it again. 14.
14. Okay. A 12 or higher, and she succeeds. That is a 9. She fails.
Thank you, 9.
Roll
I'm about to murder this woman potentially.
Roll your
My
damage.
4d8s. Yeah. All right. That's a 4, an 8, a 2, and a 1.
So 15.
5 plus 3.
15
plus 3, yeah.
Okay.
So 18.
18 damage.
Yeah. Don't fuck with me.
Now that her mental defenses are up, you see she only takes 9 damage, and you take 18 damage. And with that,
well.
you feel like there is a backlash effect in which she has particular defenses against psychic damage specifically.
Okay. Does she succeed at her concentration saving throw?
I'm about to roll it. And let me do this math real quick. Okay, Constitution saving throw. She fails.
Yes.
So, while she focuses her ire on you, really glaring you down as she reflects this psychic energy back at you, she loses concentration on the spell, which means that Fish is no longer charmed, and in a sort of a sudden snap of tension, you recognize your allies trapped and this enemy behind you. You have no real memory of what happened. It's kind of like it happened in a dream, and it's like a little faded from your memory. But you could think back and try and figure out what you did while you were controlled. But you now know that you were compelled.
Okay. It's mostly just like a oh fuck, and like turning around to be like oh you got me. Maybe not that lighthearted, but, you know.
She gives a little smile, and her eyes flash orange again. Now it is Cal's turn. Because of the approach, you are still allowed to take any actions or bonus actions you want. However, you will need to spend all of your movement as well as any abilities that give you more movement, like Shadow Walk, to get closer to this woman.
Okay. Am I compelled to Shadow Walk?
No.
Okay. I'll do a Shadow Spear to start off.
Okay. Okay. You do a Shadow Spear at her. Give me that attack roll.
Cool. That is gonna be a 24 to hit.
24 to hit. Let me see. Yep, hits, and roll your damage, and then give me a Wisdom saving throw.
And do I get sneak attack from May or Fish?
No, Fish and May are not close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, and you are hidden, but she knows where you are, so that doesn't give you advantage either. And she's not standing in darkness. Yeah, no sneak attack.
Okay, so now roll my damage, and then you said a Wisdom saving throw?
Roll damage, and then a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
And Fish is on deck, so be prepared.
Yes. Right.
Um, 11 for my damage.
Okay.
And then my saving throw was a 14.
You get you fire out this spike of shadows that just rips through the webs between you and spears her in kind of like the thick part of the thigh, and she just goes, "Ah!" Ah!" And you feel for a brief moment a psychic connection with her as you mentally experience the pain that she is going through. And you feel sort of a revulsion in your soul. And you are unable to bring yourself to attack her until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
And then you are required to move. Before I do that, any bonus actions, anything like that?
Well, I can't hide, and I can't attack her.
You can try and hide. You can try and hide after moving.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what else I would do, so yeah.
You move forward and walk straight into the web. You are now next to May. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex saving throw is only a 5.
Okay. With a 5, you run into the web and immediately get stuck, and you are now restrained. You still have a bonus action. If you want to try to hide, you are kind of in the middle of things, which means that any stealth check would be made with disadvantage, as you essentially try to like sink down and cover yourself with webs so you're no longer seen. But you could absolutely do that if you wanted to.
No, I won't.
Or you could also try to bonus action disengage to cancel out the advantage to attack you.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay. That sounds good. That brings us to Fish's turn with the top of the round up next.
Find Familiar is listed as having a spell point cost, but I can just do that, can't I?
Okay, so Find Familiar is an incredibly complicated spell. Essentially, the summoning of Kekino can either be done for you over the course of 2 hours or over the course of 1 hour with a spell point. While he has already summoned, the dismissal and like bringing him back is just free. It doesn't require any spell points.
Okay, so
if
I
you
can
would
just
like
bring
to-
him back.
Yeah, if he was destroyed, it would cost a spell point to bring him back. Because he's not, you're just putting him in a pocket dimension for a moment. It doesn't cost anything. It's just an action.
Okay. Hold on. Pardon me. I'm doing a bit of measuring. Okay, no, that's it. Kekino comes back in Fish's arm, just like this. And they
Hi, Dad.
are pointing.
Ah!
Hi.
Oh my goodness,
Hi.
it's scary.
Hi. Sorry, I was confused. Then they point.
It's an action to bring Kekino back, so you now have a bonus action.
Bonus action, blasphemous dart, this woman in the face.
You got it. Give me
All
those.
4 of them.
Give me those
When I
damage
say all
rolls.
4, I mean all 3.
Yep. Give me those damage rolls.
Okay. One of them does 4. One
Okay.
of them does 5. And the fat one does... Seven.
7.
Better be dead.
All right.
Can't count, Ellie.
I said this woman better be dead after we're done.
You boom, 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 and she kind of falls back and like sinks to her knees, and she is so fucked up. She is on death's door, but she is not quite down yet. As it now reaches the top of the round.
Can we have a second of dialogue?
Yeah, of course.
Stay down.
She looks up at you, no longer kind of cocky, and says, not while I draw breath.
You heard her.
And at the top of the round, you hear a door open and running footsteps. And this door opens here. And Fish can see in that way a little bit. As 9 appears and runs in, as well as a Second Dawn agent, and then coming the other direction behind where Cal is, a Second Dawn agent appears, and you can hear more kind of behind them.
Exactly what I was thinking.
As Ezo notices the backup coming, she is going to try one last very desperate thing.
Wait, it's not back up for her?
No, it is backup for her, but
Okay,
she's now gonna be like, I need to like hold you and keep you in a vulnerable position. All right. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I need Cal, May, and Fish to make a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck me.
Six.
That
was nice to be
was
back,
up with my
guys.
wisdom. That's a 5.
Worse.
That's fucked up.
And her fucking future mother-in-law's walking in.
You know,
What did Cal get?
13.
Okay, and I got to roll for Kekino for this one. Sorry, baby boy.
Time for us to all be taken hostage. Oh no!
Kekino gets a +1 to wisdom and has no proficiency in wisdom saving throws. Because of that, the only way he cannot be affected by this spell is by, on the die, rolling a 18, 19, or 20. And with a nat 20, Kekino completely avoids the effect that is happening to all of you.
That's the best.
He's the best.
All right. As you struggle through the webs and the sound of approaching enemies, you feel pressure in your mind, almost like your head is going to explode, building and building, and then finally a release as it's so reasonable. Yes, she's almost done, but you have so much backup coming. You can't fight them all. It is best in this moment to remove your weapons, lay
Counterspell.
down, and allow yourself to be captured. Okay, I will say, in the future, you have to.
Oh, yeah, I have to write before she even described, don't you?
Yes,
Don't
you
I?
have to. I have to tell. You have to counterspell
me.
before I tell
Don't
you
worry
what
then.
it does.
We'll play by
No,
rules.
it's okay. I'm allowing you to do it this time. But I believe you will have to roll for it.
Yeah.
So this is a level.
How much do you need to get, Ellie?
I don't know how much do you get.
Let me double check. This is a 7th level spell that
This is no point then, eh? That's really no point.
The DC is 10 plus the spell's cost. So you are going to roll a intelligence check, and the DC is 17, and you get +3 to it. So
I've got
if
Fortunate Soul ready.
Yes,
You can
so
do it.
you can do it, especially with Fortunate Soul. If you roll a 14 or higher, you will successfully counterspell this effect, and this will not happen.
Okay. 19. Dirty 19.
19.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
As you feel this effect clawing at the edge of your mind,
Methinks get fucked.
and as you think get fucked, you pull one arm out of the web and you tap a tattoo up by your elbow, and a wave of magic comes out, and the whispering suddenly stops as she's kind of like rocked back on her heels. It is now May's turn if you want to try and continue combat.
Well, she can't see 9, can she? So,
Nope.
Nope. So May's going to keep operating on the assumption that her potential mother-in-law is not in the room. And May will do another information overload, knowing it might be the death of her literally.
Okay. I will say she looks very fucked up, so it doesn't have to be information overload. But
oh, okay. Actually, no, that's true. In that point,
the problem is that a lot of other things, a lot of other potential attacks, require a attack roll, which you would have
Rennie,
disadvantage on.
What are you
Although
pointing
most of your
about, Rennie?
spells don't.
I'm pretending to fire a gun.
Oh, okay.
I was just thinking I couldn't do Sacred Flame because that's got a verbal. That's like an attack versus information overload. Now, fuck it, May's pissed off. She's
I think it's okay.
No,
but,
sacred flame is a saving throw, so you don't get a disadvantage on that. Yeah, I'm actually looking through, and a lot of your like spell attacks are saving throws.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Just before you go, May's still allowed to do this, but Fish has seen 9 and the backup and shouted, "There's more coming. I think it's time for hostages."
Okay. Can May re-roll that the light?
Yeah.
Perception?
A tool check.
Okay.
So D20 plus 6.
It's an 11. Was that better than last time?
It is enough that you get a sense of how hard it would be to cut these wires, and the DC to cut them is a little lower. You still can't like map the circuit to know to know how effective it would be to cut.
That's not a bad idea, Cal. Rather, whatever. I mean, if Cal acts like messages quickly enough, but Mace doesn't know 9 is there. That's the only thing.
But Fish does, and so it can be like we can do it. We'll exchange May for 9. The second one can have May. We take 9 in. Not a good plan, but that could be it.
I mean, what do you guys reckon?
What do you want to do? It's your turn.
Well, I was thinking if May's like not confident about the lights, then like this is a split-second decision that's going to drastically, potentially, like seriously alter how this outcome goes. So I just am like really actually thinking quite hard, even though May won't necessarily have the time.
I would keep attacking. Fish doing the stupid hostage plan is an entirely different thing.
Yeah. And Fish still hasn't said anything about 9, so May's like, I don't give a fuck. There's more backup coming.
Okay, yeah, that happened. Their reaction to her, by the way, has been like,
Yeah, what's the choice? What's the call?
I'm really struggling, guys. Sorry. I really don't know what to do.
Okay,
I say
May
just do an attack.
May can kill.
Howard,
I think
Make
she's
and kill
allowed.
as a treat.
Can I fortunate souls
This
for the
woman
light check?
attacked you.
You already used your
Yeah.
fortunate soul. It's once per day.
Oh yeah, shit, I did. Yeah, sorry.
Actually,
And they.
no, you didn't, because you didn't need the extra one for the counterspell.
I rolled well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fortunate
No, that's
soul.
true,
Let's
you
redo
still
the
have
light
that.
check.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll another d20 plus 6.
It's a lot better. It's a 19.
Okay, with a 19, you trace the circuit. You know exactly where to cut. It's not going to put the whole cavern into darkness, but this immediate area with this woman, Cal, and Fish, you will just drop into darkness.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna use Molder if that's within range to like bump out, like I did with the other one.
If you do Mold Earth, because the range is kind of limited, there will be lights still active closer to where you are, versus if you did something that has a little more range, being able to destroy things. That is saying like a Earth Ripple, or taking a shot, or Mind Spike wouldn't work.
Oh, I've got no spell points left because I counterspelled.
Okay. Sacred Flame would. Sacred Flame would work about as well as Mold Earth would, which is still like you're gonna have to roll for it, but it does go.
Yeah, but it's got more range. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's do it. So just rolling for damage. Yeah.
I am going to require an Arcana check. You're trying to focus this damage like in a really small area to kind of burn through this cable.
Dirty 20, Patrick.
Dirty 20. Well, the DC was 20, so
really?
You absolutely got it. You reach out a hand, some like little licks of light and fire roll off the symbols on the back of your hand into your fingertips, and cut that switch. Sparks start flying, and this area drops into darkness.
And then May is going to message Ink and Cal and be like, "You need to get out of here."
When did I arrive?
You said ink instead of fish.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Fish. Run, like you need to get out of
Ink
here.
is canonic canonically Second Dawn.
I'm
an archivist, Ink is Second Dawn.
Sure. I don't think I'm magic though.
Yeah, you're just one of the normie human Second Dawn.
I don't even fight. I'm getting coffee.
You're the intern.
Yes, I'm so sorry. What does May message?
May messages simultaneously to Fish and Cal with the utmost urgency and genuine, like, run while you can. Because May is like
just
deeply.
turned out all the fucking lights.
Dad, I will guide you with echolocation.
Ah!
Yeah, May's making the same mistake, which is like assuming that Fish has actually been somewhat paying attention to where they are physically in this space, clearly.
Never. Between someone's legs? No, I don't care.
Okay. What does everyone do?
I mean, who's next in initiative?
It is
Yeah.
Cal. But you know, you gotta figure out how you're reacting. People are coming in. Cal is still restrained.
Yeah.
But I will say that if you still have a shadow walk, that instantly causes you to lose restraint. Yeah.
I'm gonna Miss Sensitive is still looking real fucked up, right?
Very fucked up.
Okay. I'll do probably a non-lethal Shadow Sphere.
Sounds good. Give me that attack roll.
That looks pretty good. Fuck, did I put my fucking notebook? Oh, I think I remember. It's +6, so that'll be a 15.
Okay. With a 15, you absolutely hit her. Actually, you can't. You're still under the empath ability.
Oh, I thought that was just for that turn.
No, until the end of your next turn. It is now your next turn.
Oh, that was not clear. Yeah, I guess I'll just shadow walk again.
You can kind of sort of see the guy behind you, and you can also, shadow walk to somewhere you can see more people and then attack.
But I can't see shit, right? It's pitch black.
Oh, right. You don't have dark vision. Yes, you can't see shit. It's pitch black, which means you also can't see this woman.
And I can't shadow walk either, right? Because it has to be a place you can see.
If you shadow walk in this direction, there is still some lights on over here. That's like enough light to kind of, you can shadow walk like here and then run around the corner or something. I would also let you try to shadow walk with just your mental map of the area. You would have to roll for it, and there would be consequences if you fucked it up.
Okay, I'll just go to where the light is and I'll use my shadow walk.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's do 30 feet, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are unrestrained. You get to here without any issues. You still got all your movement and an action.
Okay, let me double check. Sorry, let me pull up my map. Why did he kick me out? Hold on. Sorry. While I'm waiting for it, do I see the backup now? Do I see 9?
Yes, from where you are, you can see 9 and the Second Dawn agent there as they run into the room, and you can hear kind of more movement from that direction.
Yeah, I'll convey that I see 9 and the other agent through a message.
Okay.
May's heart drops out her ass.
I think Cal would be like, 9 Rosewood he's huge. She definitely does not like me as much as she likes the two of you. My cooler friends are here. Don't kill me. As would May still be like, cool, keep running.
Yeah, because I think in May's head, like, already before she was like, well, I'm communicating. If they're going to take me to the heart of, like, where they've got going on and I can sneak messages off, that's fine. And I'm also mortal enough that I can, like, act mortal and, you know, play that role. Knowing 9 is now in the mix, she's like, I can absolutely leverage that. I do not want to, but I will.
Yeah, I think Cal, in that case, Cal is going to, can I do a, like, stealth check and then, do my movement?
Yes, but stealth would be a lot harder kind of out here in the open at the edge of the light than kind of like getting out of view of others, which you may be able to do with your movement.
Okay, well then I'll do that then. I'll move.
Also, you can break up your movement, so you can, you know, move a little bit like out of sight, stealth, and then try to like creep back if you want to.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna kind of keep going forward and try to see if I can somehow sneak out of here.
Sounds good. You run this way, dodging past the tables, and
I was gonna say I don't know why she wouldn't. Well, I guess she can just go for. Would May and Fish be encouraging her to go back the way she came, or go back further, deeper into the base?
I will say, you know, there are
people back there.
You know, there are people back the way you came.
But there are also probably people in that direction. But hey, maybe she can just hide out for a little bit. But okay, yeah, in that case, we'll go forward.
Okay, that was your movement. Do you want to use your action to hide or to dash?
My action. Oh no, you're right. That was my bonus action, Shadow Step. So yeah, I'll do my action to hide.
Okay, sounds good. Roll me that stealth check.
Okay, that's a 33 finally.
33.
Oh.
You got it. All right, you are hidden. That leaves us to Fish's turn with the woman and backup on deck.
Okay. When Ellie returns, I will have to ask her what we're thinking. Okay. So upon learning that 9 is in the mix, what's May thinking? Like, okay, halt everything. We're gonna try and talk our way out of this, because I just want to know if Fish is going to start that process.
May is definitely going to try and talk her way out of this. There's a few options in my head as to how this can go, because 9 obviously doesn't know that May is now a sanctuary agent. So May may just straight up lie. And the lie she has on hand is that Sin has told her all about the Second Dawn. And as a mortal that lived through mortals being neglected by sorcerers, she's come to join. Through like various, you know, like means of, you know, farce and so on, they have ended up in this battle. She just wants to hell.
Then
I will say that lie is probably easier to sell without Cal and Fish. Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
Because they are known sanctuary agents.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, but the lady can't say, no, they were literally just fighting together right now if Fish knocks her out. Which is what my thought is, that they're just going to step forward and stone fist her down.
It's up to you.
Okay, well, so are they, how much darkness are they in? Like, will 9 just see them do that?
Where Ezo is, where this woman is kind of the edge of the light. She's kind of backlit because the light is over here, which means that from 9's perspective, she'll be able to see like somebody moving over to her and doing something, but not necessarily like see that it's you. she'll see something happen and this woman fall, but won't necessarily know like who was responsible or what happened.
Okay, well, she's a significant threat, and we gotta take her out, and we gotta put her down. Not necessarily to kill, but so Fish is gonna Stone Fist her down.
Okay. Bold, very bold. Let's do that Stone Fist. It's an attack roll.
Yes.
Okay. Run forward. Do a melee spell attack. So that's your spell attack bonus.
Wait, could Fish not stealth their way over there because we still have Pass Without Trace? If it's dim lighting?
I think Fish could like stealth in another direction.
Okay.
Going too far forward, you're in the light. Fish could absolutely try and get away right now, or even just like hide in these surrounding rooms and stuff, and just kind of hope.
I think you guys should hide.
Hope that no one saw them. Although, 9 has kind of like looked at you, so that's like you don't know how good of a look that she got to know like it's you before the lights went out.
There's a seal in my arms.
Yeah.
Okay, she does. I think she's like, oh, it's fucking. That's that guy that has the seal all the time. Okay. All right, Ellie, you've convinced me. Fish will try to hide.
Okay. What kind of direction do you want to go to try to hide in?
Direction Cal went.
Okay, same way Cal went. Same with Cal. It would make more sense for you to run and then try to hide.
Yes.
But running and hiding would be your action. So you manage to get all the way up to here, and then you can use your action to kind of try to hide. You're a little more exposed than Cal was, but you can try and do that. And remember, you can also like send Kekino on ahead. You can try and make him escape, or have him fight, or maybe like scout the way or something.
But Fish wouldn't want him to get hurt.
And now that both of you are over here, I can show you that you can see this area, and Cal can see over to here.
Okay. Fish hides. Do they have to roll for that?
Yes. Give me a stealth check.
Still
What's her
with,
face?
Still with plus
Ezo.
10.
Technically, Cal should have been rolling concentration checks this whole time. I don't think she was really damaged much. So I'm just gonna say it's still up.
I've received no damage.
You've received no damage?
None.
Then you never had to make a concentration check. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yes, still plus 10.
Okay. 23.
23. Okay. You just slink into the shadows. Any special instructions for Kekino, or is he sticking with you?
Yes. Kiss on the head. Scout ahead, baby boy. Be safe. I love you.
Got it, Dad.
He runs up, use his double movement, and you get a report back.
I don't see anybody. Just some more little rooms, and then a door, kind of like the door we went through.
Then through a message, Fish will be like, I think this is the way to be running.
Okay. I think this is the way to be running. That is the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to the top of the round. First, we have this woman who is very injured. and is seeing the two of you run off, but you get around the corner so she can't see you anymore. And you are hidden, which is higher than her passive perception for both of that. So I think she would then prioritize the one that was essentially captured. She would come to this
Sorry, May.
edge, so she got kind of some cover from May, so she couldn't be like hit as easily or anything. And May feels a tendril of psychic energy reach out to her, and she's got to roll another wisdom saving throw. Also, these are all wisdom saving throws. They're different abilities. It's just like every
Right.
single ability she has is a wisdom saving throw.
Dirty 19. She
Okay.
fucking better.
With a dirty 19, you feel the pressure of this psychic energy start to assault your mind and then disappear as your mental defenses are strong enough to shrug it off.
Once again,
May,
get fucked.
May is on it because she's like, oh, 9's here. I better like.
Yeah,
bam.
gotta focus in. And with dark vision, you see moving much slower than they would be if they could see where they're going. 9 comes around the corner and says, "Oh, Ezo, is that you? What's going on? Where's the people?" And you hear other voices behind her.
He's
And
here.
you also see around the corner this agent comes. This one. Boom, and she would be here. And this one, and this one. Yeah, May can't see all of these people, but can definitely see some of them.
That's alright.
Here is the question. Would Cal and Fish continue to run and try to escape, or are they going to stay nearby and try and kind of help from the shadows?
Fish turns to Cal and goes, hey, listen, you know, you and I, we've been left behind twice now, and I think we've, like, earned one for ourselves. How about yous and me's goes make a new life together?
Dad, that's not very nice.
That doesn't happen, because Kakano's too far away to hear this conversation, but...
Did Kakano give both of us the intel about the door?
No, he
Just pass it on.
he gave it to Fish. Yeah, Fish could pass it on.
Hey, once again, what did Fish say to Cal?
Sorry, say again.
I said, what did Fish say to Cal again?
Fish said, listen, Danielle, you and I, we've been left behind twice now, so I think we've earned one of our own. How about you and I just get the fuck out of here together?
Cal is going to... Cal is going to look at them silently in the darkness and go, is that what a leader does? Metal wouldn't.
And where is she?
She wasn't a good enough leader. Are you already giving up?
What makes you think I'm better than her?
Well, you can try. Do they still have message on, or is this just an intense whispered conversation?
I think they're whispering at each other, honestly.
I think May has to be the bridge for message. So either you are like going through May and she can hear this whole conversation, or you're whispering to each other.
Both of those are very funny.
I think
it's very funny for me to imagine May being like, she's just like, she hears what Fish says, and she's like, and then she hears what Cal says, and she starts snapping.
Yeah, that is very funny. However, I do think that Fish is like whispering at her.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the last thing that was said?
Cal said, "What? You're giving up already?"
And Fish says nothing to that, and stands because I imagine that they've been crouched, and fucking walks back out there when it's their turn.
Okay, not running. As
I will say, Cal didn't say let's get back in the mix. She just did
Yeah.
Well, this is how Fish took
Fine.
it.
You know what? We'll take it. Once Fish walks out, starts to walk away, she'll grab them by the arm and she goes, "I don't think we should leave her. That doesn't mean you should put yourself back in the firing range." We should check out the door and then move on from there.
Okay. Yeah, I was totally about to just go like throw myself into the. Yeah, I think you're
Yes,
right.
I didn't say
Okay,
that.
Yes. No.
One step at a time.
Well,
Get your head in the
yeah.
game, Fish.
as
they just nod.
as this conversation is happening, May sees this woman looking at her and seeming to concentrate on something, and can feel a little bit of psychic pressure kind of in the air, but nothing that's directed at her. But you can see as they come around the corner, kind of walking with new purpose, as if they're being guided by a telepathic connection from someone who can see you. 9 and various Second Dawn members come around the corner, and some of them have flashlights that they click on that allows them to see you.
I was desperately hoping May might be able to take out Ezzo before 9 came around.
Well, it's Ezzo's turn, and then it's yours. So
May trips and smacks her and is like,
you could in a split second before this movement happens take care of Ezzo and knock her out, or kill her. It is certainly possible that in that moment you will be able to do it without without 9 seeing what happened and that it was you. Although you are kind of like stuck here right now.
No, that's totally fine if 9 sees it happen. I don't mind if 9 sees it. But what May's concern is that she doesn't want Izzo to be like, there were these other 2. There's one with a seal. Like, any details that will immediately trigger 9.
I also think that, like, May has already done acting in front of 9 that has worked, so you could be, like, crying, or you can, like, drop Izzo and then be like, oh my god, what? Or, like, have some sort of reaction where you're like, I had to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm planning, yeah. So okay. I was just going to use information overload again, with the intent of, like, for the sake of this plan, it's probably better if Meek doesn't kill Ezzo and just knocks her out.
Yeah, you can use you can do non-lethal damage to do anything. Yeah. I will tell you, remember, Ezzo looks incredibly fucked up, so it doesn't need to be something as strong as information overload.
Just punch in the face.
I mean,
I'm trapped.
Yeah, she would have to free herself first, but even just like a sacred flame or something, anything that does like any damage on a saving throw would work.
Yeah, okay, I'll do Sacred Flame. I do have that arm free from smacking the counterspell. Get fucked, Teddy.
All right. Then with a Sacred Flame, she's going to do a Dexterity saving throw. It's 13 is your spell save DC or 14?
Sorry, Patrick. 14.
Doesn't matter. She rolled a 4.
She's fucked.
She like you throw out this kind of like light and energy, and it just kind of like almost ignites her for just a moment, and there is a kind of like flash that the others are able to focus on that allows them to kind of run forward. As for just a split second, they can see a little bit from this light that you're throwing as Ezo is knocked unconscious.
Yeah. And May, I want to specify, May already feels like shit. Obviously, she's lost like 3/4 of her health, but she's gonna really like lay into it. Like she's like, I don't know, caught in the web, like on her knees, like like panting. Yeah. And then when she throws it, she's gonna like. Who did she see first? That
As
guard, I guess.
As comes around the corner, people start clicking on flashlights. You see Nine, who is kind of looking after where Fish and Cal ran to, and then sees sees May kneeling down. In the meantime, one of the Second Dawn agents runs to Ezo's side and seems to be checking on her. And you see a large, I mean, not super large. He's not particularly tall. He's someone who's very broad, and so gives the illusion of being taller than he is. But he's really like 5'10" or something. A kind of middle-aged man, thick mutton chops and thinning hair that you can see flashing red in the light of the flashlights, immediately walks past everyone, pulls out what is very clearly a very large custom revolver, and cocks back the hammer and points it at your head.
May raises her chin and says, "Oh, is this the welcome you give to Second Dawn recruits?"
Wait. And around the corner, you see a sort of shorter woman with dark hair, and everyone everyone seems to like hop to attention as if with a leader, and you see her turn the corner. This man does not lower his revolver, but he instantly like kind of comes to attention as if waiting for orders, as other people sort of surround you and the web spell starts to disintegrate as you are freed. Do you still stay kind of like on your knees? Like,
yeah, and then like falls onto her hands and knees and is like breathing really heavily.
This woman comes around and looks at you in the flashlight, looks over at the woman you downed, and waits for a nod from one of her people, and she says, "It's interesting to attack those you're trying to join, wouldn't you say?"
Okay. Surveyor's going to like still breathing heavily, come back to like sitting on her like the back of her feet, you know, like Japanese kneeling style, hands on her legs, and like wipes away the blood and says, "Yes, I get the sense I came at a rather rough time. I was speaking to the gentleman at the grocery store. Sorry, I can't remember his name. I'm telling him that I was here looking to join up, directed me down. I passed a group of, I presume, your soldiers, told them I was here. Clyde, that was his name. Yeah, sorry, Clyde. They told me to go further down. And I guess I made the mistake of taking that woman by surprise because she attacked without any request or pause to get more information. But forgive me, I've just had the shit kicked out of me in a psychic manner. I should introduce myself. My name is May Gladly, and I'm here to let you know that the sanctuary is on the way.
As as you are giving this speech, you see kind of at the edges of the light, Nine circling around, looking after Fish and Cal, not seeing them, and then coming back around. Is like, and I may gladly. And she's like, "Oh shit, May, darling, what are you doing in here?"
So
in a clear like violation of kind of protocol, as this redheaded man with a gun pointed right at your forehead, tensed up and waiting for orders, is clearly attached to this like leader. Nine just like walks up and just like puts a hand on his gun and lowers it as she walks over to you.
May looks up at her. I think is genuinely very relieved, actually, to see her. She just have to light and put it on. And she goes, Nine, I can't say I expected to see you here, but damn it if you aren't one of the sweetest sights I've ever laid my eyes upon right now.
Oh, sugar, that's so sweet of you to say. You know, I gotta say, when we met before, I didn't really get the sense that you would be, one for the causes, but happy to have you, I guess. Nine, we are not so quick to recruit new members. She'll have to be processed, of course, and held until then. I understand. I'm just saying, vouch for it all. Just, this is the woman I was telling about that I found with my boy, and I thought it was very sweet, and you know how that went. We got a couple of us were there. Yeah, no, we were there. A couple people are nodding. I was like, yeah, we were on that mission. She knows her. They obviously they don't like recognize you as easily as Nine does, but they're still like, oh yeah, that is her. And there you kind of feel like a little bit of lowering in the tension from the room, except for this bodyguard and who you assume is Celeste.
Is Celeste or anyone else going to say anything? Because I'm going to have May keep landed on, if not.
As Nine is like gathering up kind of like sentiment, Celeste fully steps forward in front of her bodyguard and says, if you are willing to join us, why don't you lay your weapons down and allow yourself to be escorted somewhere we can get you some medical care. If this was an accident, I'm sorry, but I hope you understand we need to be cautious. And if it wasn't, you'll pay for it.
May's just like smearing, like trying to get the blood away from her face, like is looking at May's really putting on the like, what an incredible inconvenience as well. Look at all this blood I've got all over my very nice shirt. And she's not going to get up yet, but she's going to like sit back in her haunches and look up at Celeste and go, what's she going to say? She's going to say, yeah, well, look, I was brought up mortal. The Sanctuary tried to poach me, but Nine's son, Mr. Drum, she's letting a smile, like on the lips, even though she's not feeling it. Was telling me all about, the rumors about what the Sanctuary has, the role they played in the formation of the Second Dawn, and I found myself moved. I was there during the World Wars. I understand that the Sorceress World let us down quite thoroughly. And when I heard that the Sanctuary was on the way here, the Sanctuary agents I did meet with didn't exactly treat me well. I thought perhaps it was time to take a stand. As for my weapons, I'll happily lay them down, but they are quite precious to me, so I will just ask that you don't rough them up.
Because a lot of what you're saying is the truth, with like very few kind of lies sprinkled in, I will say give me a persuasion or deception check.
Which one was higher for me? I think that might
actually an advantage because that's her mother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No,
okay.
that is her mother-in-law.
King and Queen of the Liars are peeking around the corner, being like, "Yeah, fucking
Yes,
do it,
do it.
Okay, guys, we gotta bless this roll. Dirty 20.
Yeah.
Lovely."
As you are talking about this, you can see Nine is kind of like, yeah, I mean, my boy's great. Just because he's not joining us, I still know that he's a sympathizer, right? No, I've told you that. Yeah, yes, you told me all about your son multiple times. Uh, or like, is this the like big son, or is this the serial killer son? Or is it the other one? The other one seems a little too nice to do what we're doing. As Celeste seems to be a little more kind of like taken in by what you are saying, kind of like hanging on your words a little bit. And it seems like specifically the mention of the World Wars kind of like strikes a chord with her. And you can see that although the bodyguard is glaring at you, he seems to be softening a little bit too.
May has proficiency with charming bodyguards, so that doesn't surprise me.
And
can I also say May will specifically, at the mention of like, oh, is this the good, like the big son of the serial killer? She will turn to Nine and be like, is Sinner here yet? Is he joining us?
Oh, hon, I mean, I figured you'd know that more than I would. I haven't gotten any messages from him or anything recently. I think that boys should write their mama a little more often. I don't know, this modern thing of like, we need to leave the house and be independent. I mean, I'm never going to stop being your mama, you know what I'm saying? And
he never writes you, Nine? I'll have a word to him about that.
Only every once in a while. Would you, sugar? That is so nice of you. And as you're kind of having this little aside, you see Celeste kind of shooting glances at her people, and then she says, "Ahem. Of course, we will take care of your items. Jacques, if you'll secure her, and we will escort you to somewhere you can recuperate. And if you don't resist, they kind of pick you up and lead you away in the flashlights. Give me a perception check.
That's a 26. Oh, no, sorry, 28.
Okay. With a 28, you see that he has a tattoo on his wrist. It is a kind of like a sun peeking through two mountains tattoo over a lake that was described to you by the waitress. Did Metal ever tell you about the Savior's tattoo?
I don't think there is a person on Earth Metal has spent more than 20 minutes with that hasn't heard the pitch.
I think that is fair.
And I mean, even besides that joke, I think she did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
In the room.
It's actually Jacques Rabbit.
Yeah, are you just making the connection now, Mooney? As soon as I saw the name written, I was like, it's that good.
As this kind of young looking but very serious guy is picking
young
you
enough
up.
to date a 20-year-old.
Hard to tell with sorcerers. You'd have to ask him.
Cool.
As
May just go grabbing his arm, being like, "How old are you, sir? What's the like half your age plus 7 here?"
Yeah, what's the over under?
What I'm actually going to have May do is when she sees it, as she's unbuckled her shoulder holster and is like coiling up her whip to give over. she's going to see the tattoo and say maybe like a little bit more loudly than required. Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful representation of the Second Dawn's motto. I love the placement on your wrist, or wherever it is on his hand.
Yeah.
Because I wish I had more room for ink, but as you might be able to tell, or perhaps not in this darkness, I don't have exactly a lot of blank canvas left. Mentally, and because May, I'm going to ask if May can use message because she knows roughly where the guys are. So I don't have to be able to see them to use message. I have to be familiar with the target.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, it's Jackrabbit. It's Metal's boyfriend.
It's Metal's boyfriend.
Yeah.
As with a 28, I set the DC to figure this out. Since you are
like it too.
Who has special tattoo knowledge, I set this DC at a 25, and for Fish it would have been a 20. You can see as someone who has received a lot of tattoos but does not tattoo themselves, a areas that have slight divots, areas where the sheen is slightly different, and you recognize a cover-up tattoo, and 2 mountains hiding 2 spears, a rising sun hiding a star, bottoms of the spears, a continuance of a lake, as he's got a cover-up tattoo over the tattoo that Metal described to you, and you know that it is him.
Fuck.
Yeah, I like a bit of ink, and we'll say yours looks pretty good too.
Finbar wrong can't go wrong if you're ever up Island Way. And they were maybe reach out to 9 to claw her way to her feet, really putting on oh, I'm so wounded. There's not too much of an act.
9 absolutely it in kind of that brusque, rough way, grabs you under an armpit and heaves you up, but it's still it's still getting you to your feet, even if it's not super gentle, and kind of dusts you off as you take out the rest of your things and hand them to this man, Jacques, and I will now think that we cut to the others, seeing what Cal and Fish are doing, hiding and seeing this happening.
Sorry, Ink and I were being bad.
Yeah.
We'll explain later.
So Fish and Cal, have they been able to hear all of this?
I think. Give me a perception check, because it's far enough away that it's it's far enough away that you can probably get bits and pieces, but not necessarily all of it, unless you roll well.
10 for me.
Oh, it's 19.
10 is not enough. You get kind of bits and pieces. You get a little bit of what they're talking about. You get most of what 9 is talking about, because she's loud as shit. But most of the other stuff, you just get kind of a word every now and again. But Fish is pretty able to get details about what is happening, and especially with the context, if May can send messages to Fish about the tattoo, can understand that they're talking about the Savior.
Okay. Fish has been live tweeting the entire conversation to Cal, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now they're talking
trying
about
to work on the door and be important, and I think Fish is oh no, we're talking about Sinner.
Yeah. Fuck off. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, she's mentioned Sinner. May's going along with it. Oh my god. Oh, she's doing it. Oh. Okay. Serial killer son. Yeah, that's the one. This lady's hot. Okay, it looks like May is doing a thing where she's pretending to join them. I think that's a really good idea. Once again, my idea to run away, not so bad sounding now. I think she can take care of herself. She's got the fucking earrings. She's got the making sure she's putting the whip down, the gun down, the tattoo. Oh shit!
I think, Cal is like trying to do important work, check out the door, like, give Kakano a scritch, blah, blah, blah. But I think she's like half listening, and I do think her attention gets piqued when Fish mentions the tattoo and it being metal savior, but I think she does, she just kind of falters for a second, and she goes, well, we can continue to explore the building and try and see if we can find a way out. And if not, we wait until they maybe leave May alone, and then we all try to sneak out together.
Oh yeah, okay. Yes, they're gonna like put her in containment to make sure she's not a traitor, which she is, but so like obviously we'll go and we'll rescue her from that, and then we'll all get out. Yes, good idea. See,
We'll still have a message.
This is why it should have been you.
Do you actually mean that, or are you just trying to provoke a reaction out of me?
Mean what? The later No, I really thought it was going to be you.
Look, obviously it couldn't be me. Tom hates me.
Well, bad taste in people. Okay, we're gonna get May out of this. It's gonna be all right. We'll suck around, meet up with her. We'll get a better lay of the land.
Yeah.
But like, she's got such a good rapport with Nine. I really think they're gonna be fine. It's gonna be. She's in there.
I was gonna be
she's
like
giving
listening
her away at the wedding.
I think Cal has like have her ear pressed against the door and doing like a death sentence. But when Fish says giving her away at the wedding, Cal does almost laugh and goes, I mean, obviously. May's parents aren't alive.
Yeah.
Do you actually like inspect the door and open it at any point?
We don't open it. I think Cal
Okay.
would try to listen and death sense just to make sure there isn't somebody on the other side.
Give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. Can I get Kakano help?
Yes. Roll with advantage.
That's an 18.
With a 18, you hear nothing. Just no sort of steps or sounds. The door you're leaning against is much better constructed, the door in the wall, but it does remind you of the one you came through earlier, of being like a separation that blocks out light rather than like a true secure entrance. And there's no lock on this door, and yeah, you can't hear anyone behind. And as Nine and Jacques are taking May's things, Celeste says, ensure you take those earrings as well. Sorry, Miss Gladly, I recognize sending jewelry.
Okay. So May has to touch them to take them off.
Yes.
As she touches them, she's going to... Celeste hasn't introduced herself, has she?
Not to... you've introduced yourself. You have. You were like, I'm May Gladly, when Celeste was there and Nine was walking up.
But did Celeste say her name in turn?
No.
Yeah.
No, she
Okay.
didn't.
No, she didn't.
Okay. So as she's taking them off, and she's going to reach out and her hands are going to be trembling from exhaustion. So she has like a bit of an excuse to be kind of like struggling with the clasp. And she's going to say, "Oh, of course, I'd expect nothing less from perhaps the leader of the Second Dawn. You certainly have the gravitas for it." And like we'll be transmitting as she says that, and then hand it over. And before like Celeste actually physically takes it out of her arm, still like with the transmitting going. But that's all right. I would, if I'm going to be joining you, I don't mind doing what needs to be done.
As you hand over the first earring and take out the second one, you hear a very like faint, because you get it like just as the edge of taking it out of your ear. Understood. From Mercy, as you then pass it over. And yeah, it's like no specific orders that were given. Give me a sleight of hand check to see how unnoticed this was. But this the information seems to have gotten through to Mercy in the backup.
Okay. That's a 17.
With a 17, you sort of glance around really quickly, and it doesn't look like Celeste noticed, and most of the others are kind of like either watching you for like movement, like guns trained on you, or are looking outwards. And you don't think anybody noticed, but you don't know 100% for sure as you give over the earrings. And then 9 is like, "Oh shit, I knew I forgot something. Jackie, I heard some movement, some like running and stuff. Maybe there's other people down there, but we should probably like spread out, make a cordon and everything." Celeste just kind of like whips around as like, yes, we should. See to it. And most of the people break out and are headed in various directions, and some of them are heading towards Cal and Fish.
I would like to instruct Kekino to fling out a psychic message towards May to be like, "Don't worry, we're coming back for you. We're definitely not abandoning you. Definitely didn't consider it for a second. Don't worry about it.
We're
It's
not
okay."
going to Hawaii. I don't even like her like that. God.
Can I reply when Kekino does that? Or is it just like a one-way?
No, it's just a one-way thing where you would have to speak out loud to Kekino. You'd have to kind of yell. He's too far away to do that kind of like touch action that he often does. And you are taken into custody. Your sending stones and anything else is taken away from you. Let me take
my stinky stones.
Maybe not your stinky stones. Let me do a really quick glance through your inventory.
Yeah, because I've got 6 distraction stones, for lack of a better word.
You get some things that are like obviously dangerous, like the grappling hook taken away. The life gem and a coin of delving are small enough that you can try and hide them if you want to. You can also try and hide the distraction stones, but your health potions and the healer's kit and the grappling hook and your multi-tool and stuff all get taken away. If you want to hide things on your person and keep them back, give me a sleight of hand check. Every single item you choose from what I just listed increases the DC by 5. So if you want to hide just a single distraction stone, sleight of hand 5. Super easy. You want to hide 2 distraction stones, sleight of hand 10. You want to hide 2 distraction stones and the life gem, sleight of hand 15. And you gotta call your shot a little bit.
Okay.
People
Does
love gem.
Ellie lose her inventory?
Does May still have the sending stones that connect with Cal's sending stone?
Yeah, but you're giving it over.
Okay.
The sending zones are sizable enough that if you would try to hide them, but it would be like a DC 20.
Okay. In that case,
He's like, that's my sucking rock. I just like to smooth it out of my mouth.
Or like,
Okay.
she's put it in a bra and is like, yeah, I've got breast cancer. I'm so sorry.
Okay, May is going to try and save one of the sound stones.
Mhm.
Do I need to decide right now which one it is?
No, we can decide that later. But just
Okay,
one
cool.
of the sound stones.
One of the sound stones, and how bulky is the multi-tool? Because it is kind of be magically unfolding, so I don't think it necessarily is actually that big.
It's kind of like this big, kind of like a multi-tool you would normally have. It's just like when you fold it out, you can separate it and become like, oh, an entire hammer and tongs or something. Like it's still a decent chunk of metal. It just can get even bigger. If you tried to hide that, that in and of itself would be a DC 15.
In and of itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
These distraction stones are very small, and
Yeah.
so is the life gem and the coin of delving, and very easy to hide. This is a more like solid thing where you have to kind of be like, oh yeah, no, look over there, and then pass it to the other hand, and then oh, what's that, and then slip it into your pocket that they've already searched, and yeah. Call your shot.
Yeah, I know. I'm cooling my shot. Okay, I'm going to try and save one sound stone. Actually, let's make it 2 sound stones.
Okay, you're at 10.
And it's sleight of hand, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I've already failed. That's a 7.
Okay. With a 7, they catch you kind of like keeping something back, but you are able to be like, oh yeah, no, I just forgot that. I've got a little charm on this that makes some noise, kind of an emergency thing. And if you are willing to use one of the stones as a demonstration, you will be allowed to re-roll sleight of hand to hide the other stone on your person. But
Yeah,
that means you were using one.
Yeah, otherwise I'm going to lose both, so what's the point? Yeah, May absolutely is like, oh, see, look, like, in case I need to distract you, and presses it, and like blood-curdling wail of someone screaming, fire, fire.
You can see everybody kind of flinches, but Celeste is like, interesting, and is takes one out of your hand and like kind of examines it, and that gives you the opportunity to like slide another one into like your bra or something. And give me another sleight of hand check. You just need to get a 5, and you've hidden this stone.
Yeah, well, that's a fucking nat 20. Great.
Oh,
couldn't use that yesterday.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, I feel like the magician's like sun bulge in the bra.
Yeah. And you get stripped of these things and led away as this sort of hunting party goes out for Cal and Fish. There also seems to be this woman you were fighting is being taken to a place she can be cared for and maybe healed. She's like being taken away very gently. And I think now we're going to jump to Cal and Fish, who have been messing with this door and hear that they need to move.
When the stone went off, can they use the opportunity of the loud noise to be like, "Get to the fucking door! Shut the door!"
Yeah, I'd say that's a good distraction. Give me another stealth check just to try and like time it correctly.
Both of us?
Just one of you, either or.
You add anything to stealth?
I have +1 and the +10. I think still no.
Yeah. No, we're nowhere near an hour. Can Kakuno or Fish give me the help action?
I'm gonna say no.
All right.
Good luck.
The DC for this isn't particularly high.
Okay. Oh, that was good! Hooray! That's a 33.
Okay. Just like instant timing. May have like demonstrated this ability for you before, and you managed to do like the click open and slam closed at the exact point of like highest pitch in the scream, that such that it is imperceptible as a different sound to someone even standing like 5 feet from you. Like fish can't even hear you open the door and close it again. And you are on the other side. Are you running? You don't have any light, and it's dark on this side.
What are we doing?
Cal will put up if she doesn't hear didn't hear anything on the other side, doesn't hear anything now, she'll give it a minute and then, or not a full minute, but she'll give it like, let's say 15 seconds and then put up a dancing lights.
You can definitely hear the sound of people in the room you just left, kind of like coming after you, because they are going to search kind of all corners and search the town and kind of search everything. So
Yeah.
there you can probably pause for just like a split second to see if anybody reacted, but then you gotta go. You either gotta like try and get out of here or try to like find a crevice to hide in until people get past, or whatever choice you want to make to try to get out of here.
Yeah,
Or
dancing
stay
lights,
down
like,
here and just hide somewhere until you can get to May.
yeah, dancing lights. Cal will see if there seems to, immediately look for the equivalent of an exit sign here. But if that's not obvious, then Cal would probably look for a nice hiding spot.
Okay. As you run forward, the walls are pretty smooth right here, but you quickly get to a branch where the main tunnel seems to like curve to the right, and then there's a sort of offshoot to the left. Give me an investigation check to try and find either hidey holes or kind of the way to go, an exit sign, so to speak.
That's a what is that? A 15? A 15.
With a 15, you see another set of these scratches that are on your side of the of this kind of three-way intersection, which you can kind of take to mean like this way towards the base in some way. So you think either branch will eventually lead you to a way out. The one that the pathway to the left seems to have more traffic and more disturbance, so maybe a more active kind of hatch to the surface, but that is also the kind of smoother tunnel, and the way to the right, the one that's used less, seems to be a little less traveled, maybe a little more jagged, maybe more spaces to hide down that way.
Unless Fish is really just like, let's get out of here, I think Cal would probably go in the tidy spot.
I think that is kind of the choice between like fast and more secure.
No, hidey spot. I agree.
Okay. As you travel outwards, hustling through the cave, you find some crags and crevices that you may be able to hide in, but none that seem deep enough or comfortable enough. You'd have to hide separately. And then another split in the path. You once again take the one that it seems to be not as used, and you reach another small cave, stalagmites and stalactites within here, as well as more water dripping down from above, maybe below a lake or something, and almost invisible to you, only really seen because your dancing lights give such broad coverage of light and your good investigation. You see a crack that you can shimmy into that opens up into a slightly larger kind of cave off the side where you can hide until trying to get to May later if you would like.
Enough for 2 people and a seal?
Enough for 2 people and a seal. Not necessarily the most
Family.
comfortably, and you'll have to be quiet when somebody else is like in the main room, but you could hide here together.
John Mulaney voice. Could be a nursery.
Could be a nursery. Maybe for May and Sinner, could be a nursery. Yeah, as you shimmy into this cave, the sounds of pursuit omnipresent, but starting to fade a little bit more behind you. As at the same time, May is led through another door. This seems to be a strong internal door. Yes.
Ellie asks, and I agree. How intimate is this little cave?
The cave itself is like it's not super tall, so you have to kind of like sit down at an angle. It's got a slight slope to it, kind of a sandy bottom there, which means that like you can be like not touching each other and maybe pace like 5 feet and stuff. But in order to like sit and wait comfortably, you have to be pretty much shoulder to shoulder, like not pressed together necessarily, but you do. This is close confines, and you are kind of uncomfortable if you're not in close confines. Kekano's perfectly comfortable because he's small enough.
Kekano's having a great time.
Standing and ready to be watching and keeping an eye out. And Cal's on the floor, planking.
Yeah. Cal's
face down
floor
in the
time.
sand.
All right, you can go on. I just needed to know.
Yeah, please.
Doing the Tina Belcher moan face down in the sand. This sucks. As May is led, not tightly under security, but under very watchful eyes of people, including this bodyguard who. Give me an insight check on this guy.
Can they get advantage for being so charming with the help?
Not
history.
Not advantage, but I will make the DC lower.
Yeah. Okay. That's a 4.
Okay. His emotions are kind of, under control now. When you first saw him and he was pointing that gun at your head, you saw some anger there. Maybe a little bit of hatred or something like that. And now you're just kind of like he's under control. He's back in control again. But he seems, ready. He seems ready to deal with you if you make a sudden move. As you get led through this kind of secure door into another secondary cave that the lights are still working and everything is on. And as you round the corner, you see a cage. Large metal bars that run almost floor to ceiling, and in it a comfortable bed and a desk and some accoutrement and a person back towards you, seeming to work at a desk, scribbling and making notes, and then looking up as you enter. And you most likely were not given any information on Krenet Brash, but you see him here locked away, and you see a glisten of magic and symbols running along the top of this enclosure. And next to it, a almost identical one, but unfortunately, no furnishings in this one. As the gate opens, and you are led in, and the door closed behind you. The sum total of this cage that you are in is a pile of kind of moldy cloth that you can use as a bed, and a latrine that is literally a splintery wooden box over a hole, just kind of in plain sight.
In the other cage, you can see like a little structure with like a curtain to give some privacy and things like that. Obviously, this other person is a captive, but seems to be a comfortable captive, at least somewhat. Um, and as you are locked away, the bodyguard says, "Our lady will speak to you soon, once she's gathered all the facts and your friends have been found. You need anything, Brash?" "No, Erasmus, I'm quite fine, thank you." Mm. And he stomps off and leaves you locked in the cage. Give me an Arcana check as you are locked in here.
That is 17.
With a 17, you look up at the ceiling, mostly rock. You do a mold earth, and you see it start to chip and dig away before it slows and stops as you start to uncover some metal buried in the rocks above you. You're like, okay, well, it kind of works. Same thing with the floor. Digs down a little bit before hitting kind of a barrier where things can go farther. And then you try mold earth outside your cage, and it does not work at all. And you, with a 17, think of this as sort of in the way that the handcuffs stop someone from using magic, this is the equivalent of a magic Faraday cage. You can use magic within it with impunity, but you can't use magic outside of it, and magic cannot cross the bars. And the symbols that you saw on the outside were not symbols you necessarily recognized or knew how to use. They were a little foreign, a little strange. Perhaps witch symbols, something that you haven't studied. An alternate symbol system. And so you find yourself captured and awaiting your fate as Cal and Kekino and Fish wait in the darkness, extinguishing the dancing lights as footsteps run past, flashlight flickering over the room, just missing the crack that they're in, heading up the ladder into your cracked door creaking and the sound of the night before it closes as the hunt is on. And May, wrapped, surrounded by enemies, with a woman who can testify to others being there, hope imminently being healed, potentially, but some inroads with Nine and with Celeste. And you see the man in the cage next door to you goes, "Greetings." And the door closes on the way out as the guards leave. And then he goes, "Are you here to get me out, man? I'm so scared." And that is where we will end our session today, and we will see you next time.
I like how we were like, we gotta have a cliffhanger. We got the fucking cliffhanger.
We got one.
Cliffhanger. Me being like, we'll end in battle like we always do.
Do we want this for Craig recording or not? But the little monologue I wrote that I thought that Cal would attack Fish over, I'm never using it. Ever. No, never.
Really?
Oh, really? The moment the time period has passed?
I don't think so.
Not
after this.
The relationship has changed. Okay. Well, we can keep it on the recording for posterity, but
and I can enjoy it forever.
A non-canon conversation.
Would you like? Okay.
I'd like to hear it.
So, I've been thinking about your first kiss with Jamal Tractate. And I don't doubt you'll both want it to be special. Like, you want to have an idea of what you're doing. You don't want to just go at it like dead fish. And where you're both at now, I can see it quite clearly working out that way. Thankfully, you have me. Now, I've already offered my services to Tractate as a training dummy of sorts, and he accepted. I think it's only fair that I extend the same invitation to you, Danya. I want to assure you that this is all for the sake of your relationship with him. I am merely here as a consultant, a mediator, an avatar of affection put on this earth to see others finding fulfillment in each other. The only thing I get out of this is knowing that you and Tractate will be happy together. And to be more blunt, do you want to chip a tooth the first time you make out? If the answer is no, talk to the expert. The expert being me.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, I can see that making Cal try to kill fish. Especially the Jamal has already accepted, which is a blatant lie.
He kind of did, though. He didn't realize it.
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
So yeah, that's never happening. Thank you.
Wow. Oh, yes, very well written monologue. Glad we got that for posterity, but holy shit.
I love it. It'll exist in fic and AUs. And Cal would have shadow speared the fuck out of it.
Yes, that fish would end this campaign bleeding out while pinned to a wall. All right,
Like a
Craig off.
butterfly.
Quick off.
Yeah.